everyone, and welcome to Johnny Unitas Stadium on the campus of Towson University in Towson, Maryland for the 2008 Maryland Crab Bowl, the inaugural edition featuring some of the best players in the Washington, D.C. area from Maryland against their counterparts in Baltimore. I'm Nate Lewis, joined by Matt Gentilcore. We usually cover WCAC football, but now we get a chance to see the entire state here on display and some of the best, Matt, and obviously the fans are going to be in for a real treat this afternoon.
Yeah, they really will, Nate, and I think this is a great championship game for a lot of these players. Obviously, they get one last chance to really impress the coaches and Division I recruiters who are looking at this game, and this is some of these players, opportunity to really gain a Division I scholarship. We probably have about 30-35 players on the bubble who may get an offer. So if they can impress some coaches and recruiters in this one, they're really going to move up to that next level, and that's what really I think Sean O'Connor and Chuck Harmon really hope to get out of this ball game.
It's been a great event. I mean, certainly it's going to be a great event here as well as we get ready for kickoff. One of the more interesting things, as you made mention to, I mean, there are a lot of players that are on the bubble that are making their decisions right now that are going to get really close looks from their college prospects or their college recruiters. Another aspect is that they're going to be players from public schools playing against their private counterparts for the first time here. So basically, it's going to be top level competition all the way around.
Oh, it really will. Of course, a lot of these players do know each other from playing in some camps and some combines and things like that over the summer, but a lot of them in proximity of each other will have played against each other, know each other somewhat. Look at a guy like Jelani Jenkins from Good Counsel. He mentions he knows about 8 or 10 players just that he's come across throughout the area of Olney, but also he's played against some of these players from the DeMathis, from the local private schools, and he's played some of the public schools as well. So you've got some real players to highlight in this game, and I think him and some of the other players are really going to stand out.
They will indeed. They're ready to stand out in just a few moments. Kickoff is next. This is the 2008 Maryland Crab Bowl coming up.
Remember your athletic achievements forever with the help of Incept Multimedia. Incept Multimedia specializes in all aspects of sports video. Our individual highlight videos have helped nearly 100 student athletes play sports at the college level. Remember that great season forever with our team highlight video packages. Or study the game like the pros with our professional game films. Incept Multimedia, your headquarters for video, multimedia, and graphic design. For more info, visit us at sportsmaryland.com or call 410-533-2990.
Well, welcome back to Minnigan Field at Johnny Unitas Stadium on the campus of Towson University in Towson, Maryland. The inaugural 2008 Maryland Crab Bowl. Once again, Nate Lewis along with Matt Gentilcore. Matt, all the hype comes to this crescendo. Of course, all-star games are a little bit different than obviously the regular season games, and many of these teams who played in championships only a couple of weeks ago here. But at the same time, as we mentioned at the top, for all those players who are undecided and even those players who are already committed, they obviously want to show their coaches that they can play at a top level against top competition. That's what they're going to have this afternoon.
No question about it, Nate. This is obviously a great opportunity for both teams to really show what they can do. Of course, a lot of players have locked up their verbal commitments, but a lot of players are still undecided at this point. DC squad really with a great backfield. Devin Smith for Penn State and Caleb Porslow for Maryland. Obviously, those two players have big play capability.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you look at the quarterbacks, like a guy like Tom Croninger, who initially committed to Eastern Michigan, but still undecided at this point. And then on the defensive side, really good players in Daryl Givens for Penn State, Jelani Jenkins undecided, Gary Fortune, and John Darr.
Of course, mentioned on the as you mentioned, Tom Croninger on the DeMatha front. It was just found out that this morning that Maryland made an offer to the DeMatha quarterback. Again, as we were talking off the air, it was just kind of weird to me, at least, how it seemed as though that Tom Croninger was downgraded a bit. But we're going to go downstairs right now to the coin flip.
Awareness women's toss is deferred. White will receive.
White being the Baltimore team, but as was mentioned, I mean, how he has really. I don't think Tom Carter ever has been upgraded because of the fact that again, we talked about this off the air. DeMatha is mostly a run first offense. They don't throw the ball a whole lot. Probably this year they probably throw the ball more than they have in recent years. Then at the same time, Tom Carter struggled really in the last couple of years, and things didn't come together for him until the stretch run, and of course into the playoffs, and then ended up being the championship.
Yeah, no question about it, Nate. I mean, Tom Croninger's a guy who initially started off as a safety, moved up to the starting quarterback spot. As you mentioned, last year threw for 1,200 yards, and this season threw for 14 touchdowns and ran for 16. I thought that was one of the things that maybe if you say he got downgraded a little bit, it's because DeMatha ran the ball and he ran the ball so much. So maybe if coaches and recruiters are looking for a guy who's going to wing it down the field, with a big arm, Tom Croninger didn't always need to show that because DeMatha always controlled really the line of scrimmage and they controlled the running game. So he didn't really need to make all those plays with his arm. He could do a lot more with his feet, and by handing it off to probably 3 or 4 of the best running backs in the DC Baltimore area.
Mac Megas will be kicking off for the Washington team. And back to receive amongst receivers, Tavon Austin, number 9, to kick us away. And the 2008 Maryland Crab Bowl's underway. Tavon Austin fighting with it, able to pick it up, goes up to the middle field, gets wrapped up and dropped. I believe actually that was number 8, Malik Red, who ended up with it, fighting with Tavon Austin there for the ball. And everybody wants to show something today, huh?
Oh yeah, no, you have to fight with your own teammates to get that ball, right? Just to make sure you get some touches on it.
There's only one.
But a decent start there for the Baltimore team as they finally do get control of that ball and get it out to the 32-yard line. So we'll see what we do here with 90 players. So we got a lot of ground to cover, Nate.
Yes, indeed. Well, the quarterback is going to be Jonathan Perry of Dunbar. That powerhouse from Baltimore. When they spread the field for things to start, handoff, that's Austin. Looking for room, cuts to the outside, gets hit once, is able to run it out of bounds. And you can see Austin the do everything back.
Yeah, Austin
for Dunbar.
Really, the Baltimore Metro's Offensive Football Player of the Year. Finished this last year with 4 state records in points, touchdowns, offensive yards, and rushing yards. So really, I mean, this guy's just a game changer. We talked about him and Caleb Porzel as the guys that can, on any given carry, probably take it to the house. So you got to really respect, getting into your lane assignments and getting them down quickly.
It's a second down now and about 6 for the Baltimore team. Perry throws, complete. And Sean Farr, the wide receiver, his teammate out of Dunbar.
Complete to Sean Farr. First down, Baltimore.
Sean Farr, a good wide receiver, actually. Rivals.com ranked him as the number 57 best wideout. So he's got a nice comeback route that time as he makes a play on it. And these two will probably try to hook up with the familiarity and the timing that they developed throughout the season.
Well, is Perry getting a call in from the sideline? There's the head coach, Lawrence Smith of Dunbar. It's going to be a 1st and 10 with the ball at the Baltimore 44-yard line. Austin now running a double reverse. Alec Lemon wrapped up once, twice, and down he goes. Maybe a gain of about 1.
On the reverse, that was Lemon.
Isaiah Ross making the finish.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Not much gain on that one. Of course, a lot of trickery back in the backfield, but I think the DC side had that one pretty much sniffed out. Of course, the Syracuse-bound wide receiver that this season put up really good numbers, 103 passes for 1,600 yards, 23 touchdowns on the season. So he's a guy that has that big capability as well.
Well, you got to you talk about Syracuse. I mean, they haven't had the greatest of seasons in the last couple of years, but they've done a great job recruiting here. Of course, on the Washington team, Raheem Cardwell of DeMatha has verbal early. It's 2nd down and 9 now. Perry once again the shotgun. Snap. Going deep far side. Man is there with the catch, and it's going to be a good catch out of bounds. What a great job. Alec Lemon. And the play goes almost 22 yards, and it'll be another Baltimore first down. But there's a flag down. It's going to be a hold. But nonetheless, well, how about that throw by Perry?
Well, just a great play that time with good protection in the pocket. John Perry drops back, and he drops that one in there. Just, you know, make sure he has enough room for the receiver to catch it. But unfortunately, he had a little bit of extra help, so this one will come back. But nicely designed play, and then I think we're going to look to Alex Lemon a lot early in this game. Just a big target as a wideout, and he catches the ball with his hands, which you like.
Well, you're going to see that a lot in all-star games, particularly up front, because the linemen nowadays are just so quick. And for a lot of these guys on the other side of the ball, these are going to be the best linemen that they're going to see in a very long time, at least for a few months, until they get to the very next level. And that's going to lend itself to hanging on a little bit, as it were.
Exactly. And, of course, a lot of these guys haven't played together for the most part, so they're going to be a little bit out of sync as far as when that ball snapped. Maybe one of them drops back and in their pass block a little bit too early, so that will cause a lot of these penalties.
Perry all alone in the backfield from the shotgun. Heavy blitz, able to step up. Gets a throwaway, and the catch is all going to be off of the hands of Lemon. And Lemon had a little bit of room.
Third down.
But he turned his head upfield a little too early, and that's going to bring up third down in a whole bunch. 12:20 left. We're just underway here in the inaugural Maryland Crab Bowl. Good-sized crowd here at Johnny Unitas Stadium to see some of the best in the state of Maryland and in the country as well.
Yeah, that time Perry drops back. He steps up, feels pressure from both of the on the outside rush. Steps up in the pocket and makes a couple people miss. Then gets the ball out to his wide receiver, but just couldn't really concentrate and pull that one in. So this will be a big third down here and long.
Yeah, third down 29 from the Baltimore 25-yard line. Lemon goes in motion. Perry again under heavy rush, able to step up. Throws the ball away, or underthrows Lemon again. Well, one of the things you got to like, obviously, Perry does a good job of being able to feel the rush. And I mean, I think one of the things that is awfully hard to teach these young quarterbacks is how to step up and avoid that rush to give yourself a little more time.
Yeah, that's one of the best qualities that I've noticed so far with the quarterback Perry. He does a nice job when he feels that pressure coming from the defensive ends. He steps up in the pocket and buys himself a little bit more time. That was good pressure by the Washington squad to not allow him to have any throwing lanes to really go to. Throws that one short, so this brings up a big punt here.
Steinbaum punt formation, trying to kick away from the two receivers. One of them is Devin Smith. The ball's going to bounce at the Washington 45-yard line and then out of bounds at the 46.
Steinbaum's punt out of bounds at the 45-yard line. First down, Washington.
And so we've got our first look at the Washington squad. But you look at all these teams, of course, in Quince Orchard and River Hill, and on both sides of the ball, and teams that have been in and won state and their conference championships, and I mean, a lot of championship experience on both sides of the ball. Croninger in the shotgun.
Really is, yeah. Of course, Croninger we're very familiar with, covering all season.
And they're spreading the field. 4 wides in the set. Croninger's going to pass right away. Throws a quick flip. That's Caleb Porzell. As one got a beat, he slips down. A lot of folks, I mean, there's a collective, holding of the breath right here, because Caleb Porzell, who runs a 4.2, they thought he maybe be taken off the field there, but he slips down and maybe a gain of 1.
Yeah, of course, we talked about Porzell all week as far as him being one of the fastest guys in the country. He's really effective when he gets that ball to the edge, and that's what he tried to do on that screen pass there with Croninger. Unfortunately, he slips down right at the line of scrimmage, so he loses about half yard. But Porzell, if you get him out to the edge, he can really make these linebackers miss and get into the second level.
So it's going to be a second down and 9. Croninger, there he goes on the run, breaks tackles, goes to the outside and almost breaks that one as well, gets about 8 yards. But we've seen that for the last 2 years at DeMath, and that's one of the things. I mean, Porzell, like many modern-day quarterbacks, but he really exemplifies that, that being able to run at any one point in time.
Yeah, no question about it. He's really added that dimension to his repertoire in the last couple years, particularly this season, where he was able to run the ball for 16 touchdowns. Croninger's just a guy who drops back. He kind of gets the defense on their heels, and then he gets off into the secondary quickly.
Croninger He's going to run again. This time trying to get the first down. He does. He had a long of 72 yards against Middletown in the opening game of the year in Delaware. And he does have runs of 55, 56 as well. And so, you know, he not only can he run and pound it in there, but he can also take off. He's got some speed.
No question about it, Nate. He's just a guy that he's really, you know, very diverse quarterback, as what we've talked about. A guy that has a really good touch on the football, he has good range, and also if things break down, he's always capable of making that big play with his feet.
Single back is Porzell. Man comes in motion. Is going to be a pitch coming in near side. Lot of room. Turn the corner and out of bounds. There's Washington's Justin Ford, the wide receiver out of Patuxent.
Ford carries.
Well, Justin Ford, just an outstanding run that time off to the left side where he catches that ball and then goes off quickly. He's a guy who's played defensive back and receiver this season. Team highs, 34 catches, 798 yards, average 24 yards per reception this year. That's pretty solid. So this guy, he makes a lot of people miss after the catch, and that's what he did on that last play.
He runs a 4.40 as well. It's the first down. Here's Croninger again, shotgun. Porzell cuts it to the outside. Now reverses his field, runs it straight up and gets wrapped up and dropped. And of course, Caleb Porzell, who's verbal to Maryland.
A gain of 3.
And again, I mean, again, obviously a lot's going to be talked about with his speed. I mean, anytime you run about a 4.2, I mean, they're going to hear about you. But you know, he's a tough guy as well. I mean, he's pretty strong, and you know, he can pound it in there as evidenced by that last run.
Yeah, he can pound it through the middle. Of course, I think he'd rather bounce it out to the out to the outside to the hash mark a little bit and try to see what he can do on the edge.
Rolling out, Croninger. Throwing deep to Ford. Makes a catch! How about that? There you go.
That's one for the highlight reels.
Yes.
For Ford, particularly, who caught a really nicely thrown pass on an out pattern by Tom Croninger, and Ford made a nice job of bringing that one in right before he got out of bounds, getting both feet in, and just wrangling that one in. So great job on both accounts.
Yeah, that was kind of a strange catch in that he had to balance that on his helmet a la David Tyree. Not quite as dramatic, but a nice catch nonetheless. It's going to be a 1st and goal now for the Washington team. Porzell, straight forward, gets a couple yards.
So Porzell, they're going back to him. They're obviously they try to use him on the inside running plays and then bounce him to the outside when they have opportunities. But now this brings up 2nd down and short for Tom Croninger and his offensive unit there for the Washington team, and this brings up a lot of options, particularly with Croninger maybe just taking this one right up the middle and running it through the defense.
There's Porzell again. Looks to work the outside. It's going to be easy. Walks right in. Touchdown, Washington.
Porzell, 2 yards. Touchdown, Washington.
Well, he had to run a whole 40 yards that, but on that maybe a total of 18 yards, of course, getting just the 3 yards in net right there. Again, he's so explosive that you give him a little bit of room. That's all he needs.
He really does. He just needs a little bit of room, particularly when he gets some blocking up front. If he gets to that edge and he can outrun most of the corners in this league to the sideline, he's going to beat you and then get around. That's exactly what he did on that touchdown run. Caleb Porzell out a good counsel for this Crab Bowl's first touchdown score of the game.
And thus in the history books as well. Adam Lemmert on to try the extra point. Croninger with the hold. Good snap. And the kick is short, but it's good. So 7-0 our score with 8:03 left to go here in this first quarter of the 2008 Maryland Crab Bowl. Caleb Porzell takes and goes off the left side 3 yards for the Washington team's first score and the first official score in the Maryland Crab Bowl. One of many talented ball players who will be playing here locally.
No question about it. You look at this year's Crab Bowl, and as far as the local players and where they've wound up, Maryland has done very well as far as recruiting this year for the local talent throughout the state, and of course a lot of the other colleges as well, Towson and Morgan State, as well as some of the other all the smaller programs as well, have done pretty well. So they've really pulled in from a lot of the better players this year, but I thought Maryland did a really good job of getting local players more than they have been in the past. I thought sometimes they've kind of gone out to Pennsylvania, New Jersey a little bit more, and this year they've stayed home a little bit. So, you know, Coach Friedgen, I think, has been growing with that program for a number of years, and finally realizing that there's a pretty good school named DeMatha about 2 miles away from campus.
They call that Maryland North right now. Absolutely. There has been there's quite a relationship, again, as you mentioned, between DeMatha and the University of Maryland, as are other schools as well. Kicking off, Mark Magus. Going to be another short kick taken by Malik Red. Cuts to the outside, gets a couple blocks, reverses his field, and down he goes right around the 27-yard line. And so that's where the Baltimore team would take over. And, you know, the Baltimore squad did a pretty good job of moving the ball. I mean, again, you know, these are guys, you know, in talking to a lot of the players, you know, during the press conference and official announcement of the team dinner that, you know, these are guys that just haven't played together a whole lot. And on the one hand, and then, of course, they're playing against guys they haven't played against as well. So, you know, some mistakes are going to be made just on the opening drives. Baltimore made more of them.
Yeah, I mean, of course, they had that big one, of course, on when they had 3rd down and long, and they completed a big play for a 1st down, and that was brought back by the holding call. So, you know, those things are going to happen with new offensive linemen working together. You're going to have a lot of these kind of mental errors.
So Perry, once again, the quarterback, straight drop back, heavy rush, able to dump it off, cutting back up against the grain. Number 44, David Muse. Out of Dunbar as well, so that the Dunbar contingent doing pretty well here in this first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, Dunbar's really got a nice contingent in this game. David Muse, a guy who's caught the ball in the backfield, also run the ball, looking at James Madison and McDaniel for as far as his college choices, and hasn't officially declared yet. But he's a guy that, of course, the quarterback is going to be familiar with, and he's looked to some of his familiar cast of characters so far.
He gets a couple yards on the play, so now it's going to be 2nd down and 8. Ball just inside the 30-yard line. 7:13 left to go here in the first. Lemon in motion. Quick flip, again coming to the inside and moving it to the outside. Here we go, Tavon Austin, and he gets wrapped up and dropped. Making the tackle, Malcolm Willis out of Lackey.
Well, any chance you get it to a player with that kind of quickness and speed on the outside, you get it to Austin, who makes that quick screen catch, and then he runs after the catch and makes up the 1st down. So a great job of making a couple defensive players miss and picking up that 1st down marker. Finally, we see the Baltimore squad starting to move the chains here, a little bit more offensive continuity than we've seen on that first possession.
Yeah, Tavon Austin, of course, who can play several positions for you. Looking at his highlight reel, boy, he has not only is he talented, but he runs around with a lot of personality. And you might see that here today. Quick flip, going to the outside, pass caught, and for about maybe 5 yards or so, that's Baltimore's Dave Steinbach, the tight end out of Perry Hall.
Yeah, Steinbach is one of those real talented players, a nice wide receiver who really makes some good plays there. He actually plays more of a tight end position, but he's got very good hands, a gifted two-way player. You know, so far this season, he's put up great numbers, 9 touchdowns, 7 interceptions on the defensive side, and then 5 fumble recoveries. So he's a guy that he's got, you know, ability to really make some good plays on both sides of the ball with his hands.
He's verbal to Maryland as well. Now it's going to be a 2nd down and 5:48 left to go here in the first. Austin goes in motion. Perry gets hit, still on his feet, breaking tackles, crosses midfield. And looks like he got enough for the 1st down.
Perry did an excellent job that time. He's so good in the pocket of eluding that initial pass rush and making those couple defenders miss, and that time he just ran all over the place. and then picked up some yardage and got over that first down marker after things had broken down. So good job by the quarterback. Looks like he's going to get the new play in here, but great job of eluding that pass rush.
Well, Drew Cheripko, number 58 for the Washington team out of Northwest, just about had him in the backfield, but then again, Perry able to just wriggle out of that. Certainly impressive here in his second drive. From the shotgun again, steps up, throws, has a man there. Pass is caught. What a catch. Sean Farr again with a man all over him. Falling towards the ground and makes a catch. It'll be about 17 yards and another Baltimore first down.
Yeah, Sean Farr really ran a nice route that time. Started on the far sideline, cuts it back in a couple yards, and just gets inside his defensive back and just really shields himself off and makes a nice catch about 20 yards downfield. So good connection there by the quarterback. And Farr making a nice catch. Farr listed at 6'3", so he's got size.
Yeah.
And just gets the inside route and makes a good play.
That's another first down. There's Austin. Gets a block. And we'll be close to another first down, maybe about a yard. No, it will be a first down.
So Baltimore's done a great job on this possession. They've really just moving the chains with some big plays and just executing well. And a lot of it's going through, of course, using Austin a lot.
Yeah.
And you know, once he catches the ball, unless you get him initially, he's going to probably pick up 7-8 yards after the catch.
Yeah, Austin just looking to explode around that corner there. Just ran right behind Malik Red and gave him a little push to say, oh, just go hit somebody so I can get going here. Austin splits out as a wide receiver. Far here to the near side. As Perry once again shotgun. Straight drop back. Throws it to the end zone. And there's a lot of contact. There's a flag going down. Steinbach was the intended receiver.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to call legal contact or pass interference based on that crossing pattern across the middle with Steinbach.
Well, Derek Thomas, the DB out of Eleanor Roosevelt, was there.
Defense. After this complete goal, automatic first down.
So big penalty there with Steinbach running that crossing route across the middle in the end zone. I don't know. I saw a little bit of contact there. I don't know. Steinbach had good position. The ball was underthrown, so I think Baltimore gets a little bit of a breather there. That one.
Well, the first and goal. Perry now in the shotgun. Pitch going to the outside. It's Red. He's going to get corralled. Reverses his field. Still on his feet. Going to get wrapped up and finally drop. Loss about 2 yards back towards the 10-yard line.
That was Red, who's really a speedy player who played a lot defensively this season. Defensive back, made 27 tackles, 2 interceptions on the season, and really a shutdown corner. Committed to Central Michigan next year.
The quarterback in Perry has a number of choices still on this list: Akron, Illinois, West Virginia, Liberty, Maryland, and East Carolina.
Yeah, I think Perry has a lot of upside, as far as what you look at as a quarterback who, has that elusive ability to get out of the pocket when things break down. So I think a lot of schools, as he has on his list, are still going to be in pursuit of him.
Quick flip coming in the near side. Lemon went off of his shoulder pad, and they finally blow it dead. They're trying to run that quick flip here to the near side. And now it's going to be third and goal.
Yeah, Lemon had a good opportunity to make the play again. That quick flip then very close to being a backwards pass, but the Lemon just took his eyes off it for a second as he was trying to look downfield for his next move. Lets that one go through his hands. So big third down here, but I think they're in the position where I think this is a 2-down territory for the Baltimore squad.
Well, Perry once again in the shotgun. And 4 wides in the set. Austin Looking to turn the corner. Gets it. Flag goes down. Looks like it's going to be a hold.
Austin carries. There's a flag on the field.
That may go against Lemon as he was kind of backing up and wrapping the arms on a defender.
Officials are still conferring on this one.
Yeah, this one's, they're going to back this one up.
Offense. The 10-yard penalty. Replay. Third down.
Yeah, this was likely on Lemon, who the wide receiver was trying to make that block on the edge to get his player Austin sprung free on that sideline, and probably got called for that one. So that's a big penalty there for backing him out, almost out of the red zone now. So this Baltimore team has a couple more chances here, but they've got to start to eliminate some of these mistakes here. They've really started to go away from the goal line.
So down to 2:18 left to go in the first. It's Perry in a shotgun. Steps, throws into the end zone. Man is there, covered, and going to fall harmlessly to the ground. Trying to go to Sean Farr again. And Derek Thomas back there once again. So now it's fourth down.
Yeah, well played by Derek Thomas. I thought he had good positioning as the defensive back on that fade pattern, and just really didn't have much of a threat. So he was in good position to make a play. Looks like Baltimore's going to kick it.
It's going to be Jacob Peary, the 165-pound kicker out of Archbishop Curley, to try the 36-yarder. Snap is down, and the kick is away. End over end kick, and it's no good. Just off to the right. It had some decent distance on it. And in this all-star format, as is with many of them, they don't allow any rushes on the kicks and extra points.
So a good series there with a good possession by the Baltimore squad as they were able to move the ball, from the 30-yard line all the way down to the red zone. But, of course, a couple penalties and a couple missed plays here, and they don't get any points out of it. So another good stop there by the Washington squad to get the ball back on offense, see what they can handle. It looks like Croninger's back under center.
And the second series for Croninger is Devin Smith in the slot, and along with four other wides. Another design run. Croninger steps up, steps to the outside, gets tripped up and dropped. Gain of maybe two. It'll be Baltimore's 99, Caleb Morris, the 6'2", 240-pounder out of Fort Hill.
Croninger that time didn't have much downfield. He tries to run it up off that left side of the offensive line and gets a couple, but I think that the Baltimore squad has realized that you got to really respect this guy's running ability. So they're going to keep, probably 7 or 8 in the box and try to focus on stopping that running game and then matching up man-man coverage. That's what they're doing so far defensively.
Over center now, Croninger. Pitch, Devin Smith. Cuts back and gets hit hard. Dropped down, maybe a gain of about one. Baltimore's 44, David Muse, came up and lowered the handle.
That's on the stop for Baltimore.
And Devin Smith, we know how fast he is. Of course, Devin Smith in that fastest man race ran a 4.19. So he can outrun everyone in this whole stadium, I think.
4.19.
I was higher than my GPA, Nate.
That'll get you a ticket. Now's a third down and 8. Croninger in the shotgun. Heavy rush. Flips it. Caleb Porzell gets a block. Cuts up to the outside. He's on the run. Still on his feet. Breaking tackles. To the 40. And down to the 42-yard line.
Porzell, as we know from first-hand experience covering WCAC in depth, it's just such a dangerous back. When you get him in space, he can make people miss, and then he gets good blocking out in front and takes it, those short swing passes and those short screen passes, it takes them 30, 40 yards at a given time. So another nice execution there, but of course, a lot of it has to do with Porzell's running ability after the catch.
So down to 7 seconds left to go here in the first. It's Croninger. Again in the shotgun. Steps up, throws flip near side. It's going to go to the wide receiver, turn the corner. Gets hit hard out of bounds. That should do it for the quarter. That's Alex Blake out of Friendly. Yep.
Probably hit after the catch, I would assume.
Yeah, it might be a late hit. Over there was Brett Baer, number 34, out of Westminster from Baltimore, making the hit.
Probably a late hit, but they're talking about it.
Dead ball. Personal foul, defense. The 15-yard penalty be added to the end of the run. First down.
Yeah, we've seen all-star games in all levels as the quarter comes to a close. But, you know, one of the things that happens with football, once you get the pads on, you just want to win no matter what.
Exactly.
That's exactly what happens. So.
These guys are going after it, no question about it. And, you know, they play it just like a regular opponent. So you'll see a lot of these aggressive type plays. And, again, that was one of them at the end of the first quarter.
First quarter of the book, 7-0 to score. The Washington squad leads. This is the 2008 Maryland Crab Bowl.
Remember your athletic achievements forever with the help of Incept Multimedia. Incept Multimedia specializes in all aspects of sports video. Our individual highlight videos have helped nearly 100 student athletes play sports at the college level. Remember that great season forever with our team highlight video packages. Or study the game like the pros with our professional game films. Incept Multimedia, your headquarters for video, multimedia, and graphic design. For more info, visit us at sportsmaryland.com or call 410-533-2990.
Got again at Johnny Unitas Stadium, Minnigan Field. Nate Lewis, Matt Gentilcore with you here. And it's the Baltimore squad, check that Washington squad taking over. Caleb Porzell, new quarterback in the game for Washington. George Lurch, quarterback out of Seneca Valley, hands off to Porzell. He gets about 7 yards on a run, so it'll be a 2nd down and 3 with the ball at the Baltimore 25-yard line.
Yeah, Lurch comes into the game. Of course, he's a pro stock quarterback this season for putting up a county high 13 touchdowns in receptions. He's nabbed 600 yards of passes, and also plays on the defensive side where he was a good defensive back, caught 5 interceptions for Seneca Valley this year. So a really talented, you know, dual-sided player.
And so on the 2nd and 3, and Lurch back to pass, throwing deep. Smith in the end zone, and it's going to be picked off. Terrence Garvin, the 6'2", 210-pound DB out of Loyola. Boy, he closed on that ball on a hurry because Devin Smith was open towards the back of the end zone. Then out of nowhere, Garvin took that ball away.
Yeah, he really did. Did a great job of making a play on that football and stepping in front as that fade route was thrown into the end zone. So this will be a good takeaway and a big change of momentum hopefully here. And Baltimore can hopefully capitalize on some of that.
Terrence Garvin, who's verbal to West Virginia, he runs a 4.5 40.
Yeah, Garvin, obviously a great defensive player, made 32 tackles last season, 2 interceptions. So he's a guy who has a nose for the football.
Well, we got a timeout on the field. The Baltimore with 14:10 left to go in the half. 7-0 our score. Washington squad leads. This is the Maryland Crab Bowl.
Remember your athletic achievements forever with the help of Incept Multimedia. Incept Multimedia specializes in all aspects of sports video. Our individual highlight videos have helped nearly 100 student athletes play sports at the college level. Remember that great season forever with our team highlight video packages. Or study the game like the pros with our professional game films. Incept Multimedia, your headquarters for video, multimedia, and graphic design. For more info, visit us at sportsmaryland.com or call 533-2990.
So back to action. Deep in their own territory is the Baltimore squad. And they too bring out a new quarterback in Grant Enders out of Old Mill. Hands off, first back up, and that's going to be dropped for a safety. Well, things broke down in that offensive line in a hurry, and as we talked about at the top, the Washington squad, they have the advantage size-wise, and they took advantage of that. They real advantage of that just there.
They really did. Of course, you know, we talked about the size differential on the line play. They get a good push up the middle that time. They don't even allow the quarterback Enders to barely hand that football off before they knock it out and knock the running back down for the safety. So this is just a great turn of events. Even though they turned the ball over, DC squad gets the ball back quickly after a safety.
Raynard Randolph, number 76, is 6'2", 315-pound defensive tackle out of Gwynn Park. Made the initial stop. So now, just like that, it's 9-0 Washington.
Great play by Randolph that time, who gets out, steps in front of that pass rush. And Randolph really looking at some of his top schools as far as he's looking at are NC State, Michigan State, and Tennessee for the big player.
So Steinball will be stepping up and punting. The kick is going to be a wobbler. Going back for it. And taking it up near side there is Gary Fortune. Turns the corner, gets a block, still on his feet. And falls down at the 40-yard line of Baltimore. But again, good field position for the Washington squad.
Oh, great field position after that safety. With Fortune doing a nice job of starting up the middle, following some blocks, and then cutting back to the far sideline. Trying to use his speed to get deep, and he does that right at the opponent's 40-yard line. So DC squad, you know, really showing all three facets of the game. They've really been really pretty successful and pretty productive.
Well, Lurch sets up over center for the Washington squad. One wide receiver near side. There's Caleb Porzell. Cuts back and then dips in. Gets a couple yards.
Porzell carries.
Talked a lot about Porzell that time right up the middle, but I have a feeling they're going to try to use him a lot. And even though this is an all-star game, try to, you know, really try to make the defense get tired out by running all over the field after a guy like Porzell, and then bringing some of these other quality skill players in to complement him.
So now more of a pro set. Porzell lone back in the backfield. That's Lurch faking the handoff, steps up, throws, has a man, and just goes beyond him. He had number 18, Marcus Whitfield.
Third down.
Yeah, Whitfield's a really quality player, you know, playing out of that up in Northwest near Seneca Valley. And a lot of programs in college were trying to recruit this guy as a tight end. That's where he's playing right now. But really, Maryland's kind of interested in him as an outside linebacker. So if he's able to convince Maryland and some other teams that he's going to play that, he's already committed to Maryland, and that's where they want him to line up on the defensive side of the ball.
Third down and 8. Ball sits to the 38 of Baltimore. Here's Lurch. Long count. Rolls out. Throws back, trying to go back to Porzell, and they can't make the catch. And flags will go down everywhere. It might be a late hit. Two guys hit Porzell. And right there in the back, Malcolm Willis. So I don't think they can call it some pass interference, can they?
Pass interference.
Wow. What do you want to call it?
The 15-yard penalty.
You know, I thought that was a pretty clean play considering that Porzell was almost running a play kind of a skinny post pattern back towards the middle of the field. And he's so short that if a defensive back tries to make a play over top of him, it almost looks like pass interference on any given play.
Porzell listed at 5'8". He's not. Here's a pitch, Devin Smith. They tried this play early with some success. Turn to 20 to the 15, and Smith rocketing out of bounds after a gain of about 7. They're going to actually mark him kind of short of that. Be about 5 as the ball's back at the 17-yard line.
Smith with the pitch out to the right side. Nice play that time and good. Yeah, I mean, just when you have a player of his quickness and you just get him out to open space like that into the edge, he's going to make plays. Verbal commitment to Penn State. And I think Coach Paterno will maybe sign on for another 3 years after a play like that, right?
Well, there's 4 wides in the set now. Lurch. He's going to run. He lunges forward and, well, get about another couple, maybe 3 yards. And depending on the spot, yep, it's going to be a first down. So they get about 4 yards on the play.
Yeah, Lurchin's a big quarterback. You know, he's got good size back there. From the quarterback position, 6 foot, 190 pounds. Seneca Valley runs the football a lot. They've always had good size for one of the upper Montgomery County programs. And, you know, he's going to be able to, again, kind of like a Cronger, he's going to be able to run the ball a little bit. Good arm. So he's a pretty diverse quarterback that you have in George Lurch.
So again, 4 wides in the set. Lurch looking far side into the end zone, and it's going to be caught. No, they called it incomplete. Ball fell down to the ground. It was Justin Ford able to get his hands on it. And back there defending is Nick DiPaolo.
Good play, but I thought, you know, again, I think one analysis of George so far is that he does kind of put a little bit of too much air on the football when he gets the ball out there. And so far he's allowed some of these defenders to really close down on some of the routes and make some plays on the football. You know, he hasn't really got initially some of that zip that we've seen earlier this season with George.
There's a handoff. Caleb Porzell breaking tackles and is finally down around the 8-yard line.
Porzell carries.
And they're doing the Washington squad here. I think there's been a commitment to feature Caleb Porzell, at least in this first half.
Yeah, no question about it. I think, you know, I think the Washington squad knew what kind of player Porzell had been all season. So I think really they're just trying to use him, you know, often as a player that they're going to make the defense really respect his ability to make plays on the running game, and then that'll open some things up for the passing game as if they have to respect that running back in the backfield.
So Devin Smith is in the slide over to the far side. Here's Lurch. And again, hands off. Porzell up the middle. Down to the 3. Cuts to the outside. His second touchdown of the day.
Porzell carries.
Porzell just picking and weaving his way, using his blocks to perfection for his second touchdown.
Well, Porzell trying to make his case for the MVP of this All-Star game early. And he's doing a nice job there on the 9-yard touchdown scamper up the middle. Makes a couple people miss. Virtually untouched there for the touchdown run by the Washington squad. And you know, I think if Maryland's able to hold on to a player like Porzell, they're going to be in great shape next season after losing a couple of their good running backs.
Adam Lemmert in to kick. Cronger with a hold. He lost the handle on it. Able to get the snap down. The kicker's way is good. Going to be 16-0 is our score with 10:57 left. The Washington squad leads. And this inaugural Maryland Crab Bowl. And, well, it's been all Washington squad right now. And, you know, if you just look at it, I mean, again, these guys are playing as if they've been playing together all season long.
Well, you know, you got to look at you know, initially with the starting lineup, when you have a guy like Tom Cronger from the Matha and Porzell out there, you know, those guys, even though they haven't so much played together, they played against each other, so they know, they've studied each other on film a lot more than maybe some of the other teams have. So you've got some familiarity between an intra-conference kind of familiarity, and then I think you kind of just go to the players that you feel comfortable with at this point. And so far we've seen the squad with Lurch and Cronger go to the go-to players, and Porzell and Devin Smith have been kind of the leaders in the clubhouse right now.
So Mark Magus will be kicking off amongst the receivers. Of course, once again, Tavon Austin, along with number 8, Malik Red. Magus kick is away. He's going to be end-over-end kick. Short. Austin will take it at the 15-yard line. Looks for room up the middle. Has up the middle. He's off to the races. Crosses midfield. One got a beat. Trips him up. Now 2 guys a beat. And he's going all the way. Touchdown, Baltimore. Tavon Austin just exploded through the line. That one goes 85 yards.
Well, that'll help your continuity right there.
Yeah.
And get a touchdown return after a kickoff for 85 yards by Austin, who it makes it look easy on that one. Starts off the far side hash mark, cuts it up the middle, and then makes it a foot race after about the 35-yard line. And Austin shows you what that speed kills.
Jacob Peary on to try the extra point. Snap is down. And this one's good. So 16-7 is our score now. 10:44 left.
Jacob Peary with the extra point.
Well, it might be kind of chilly out here in Towson, but, well, it's warming up a little bit with some of the fireworks happening on the field.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, Austin just changed the whole complexion of the game right there with his running ability. And, the Baltimore squad really needed that kind of spark, Nate. They were kind of down after that safety. That kind of took a lot of momentum out of their offense, and now all of a sudden they're back in this one. So that's a great boost there by Austin. Of course, he's such a talented player. We talked about him. Helped Dunbar to 3 consecutive Class A 1A state championships this past season. 218 carries for over 2,022 yards and 34 touchdowns on the season. You know, that's in about 11, 12 games. He's putting up about 2-3 touchdowns a game, so that's not bad.
And he's not slow either, by the way. He runs a 4.3, has a vertical leap of 39 inches. Again, those are the numbers that'll get you noticed right here, but obviously a football player, and who's able to, again, as we saw in that kickoff return there, was able to just see the opportunity and then seize it. Then all that speed and all that vertical leap there just makes it easier to complete things.
Well, you notice that teams, when they need a boost, they go to and put the ball in their best skill position players on special teams, try to let him do something special, and it's exactly what the Baltimore squad did.
Peary kicks away. It's going to be Emmanuel McPherson of DeMatha. Takes it at the 30-yard line. Goes up the middle, and is going to get hit hard. Dropped right around the 45. Of course, Emacs had a pretty good season in the red, white, and blue as well.
Yeah, he really has. Of course, Emmanuel McPherson playing at DeMatha at the wideout position. His brother Derek played there a couple of years ago as well, so he's followed up. And he was really, featured as often as the #1 wide receiver this season. When DeMatha, of course, with just being such a powerful, dominant running attack, doesn't really use the wide receiver position only in spots when they need to. And but he did make some big plays when the time accounted for it.
So it's going to be Lurch in the shotgun here, 1st and 10. Steps back, throws a quick flip. Devin Smith looks, cuts back up against the grain, still on his feet, trying to reverse his field, but down he goes. Baltimore's Caleb Morris able to bring him down.
Pass complete to Smith.
And Caleb Morris was all over that one as Smith tried to cut that one back after that quick flip out to the outside, and then Morris, another player who outstanding in his own right defensively. 48 solo tackles, 45 assisted, 1 fumble recovery, 4 sacks this season for the big defensive end in Morris.
4 wides in the set now for Lurch. And a straight drop back. Steps. That's going to be to Emac, who gets hit hard and dropped after a gain of about 4. Running a little version of the bubble screen. Baltimore's David McCall out of Edmondson West Side. Makes the tackle. Now it's going to be third down for the Washington squad with 9:33 left to go in the half. Be sure to stick around, folks. At the half, we'll be talking with some of the dignitaries here. A lot of people involved with this game and covering this game here as well. Certainly, again, for an inaugural All-Star game, this is getting a lot of national attention.
Oh, it's got great attention. I mean, it was all over the media this past week as far as some of the scouting sites and local media.
Here's Lurch on a keeper, and looks like he got enough for the first down.
Lurch carries, first down, Washington.
Yeah, Lurch is just one of those quarterbacks that we talked about who, he has that ability to really command the offense, good size back there, makes good throws. I thought initially he was allowing too much time to develop between the actual delivery, but I think he's settled down a little bit since that first quarter. And also he has the ability when he's going to run that quick draw up the middle as well to kind of punish the defense for dropping back into coverage.
So it's first and 10. Ball sits at the Baltimore 44-yard line. Here's Lurch. Throws deep. Devin Smith is there. Tapped down. Just underthrown because Devin Smith had about 3 steps on the defender. That was Baltimore's Joey Jones, but because it was underthrown, and Joey Jones was able to close in on it, knocked it away.
Yeah, Jones is in good position because that throw was just out of the fingertips of being caught by Devin Smith, who was underneath it. So Jones is right there in position, does a nice job knocking that one down. And again, just George Lurch has just been a little bit off all game long. He just, on some of his passes, he's had the right idea, but he's just been just a step or two off.
So it's second down and 10. A lot of movement except the center with the ball. Actually, now I'm surprised that we haven't seen more of that.
Yeah, no question. Usually we see a lot more of it on regular season games. So the fact that players haven't taken off early, it's been kind of a nice treat for us.
And one of the advantages, particularly for the fans who are watching this as well right now, is that a lot of these players, I mean, all these teams really are just off of their playoffs and haven't been out of the pads that long, as opposed to many All-Star games played during the summer. Here's Lurch. In trouble, gets it to Caleb Porzell, but nicely defended. That's Baltimore's 45, Matt Heacock out of Loyola.
Heacock on the stop for Baltimore.
Heacock made a nice play that time in the open field.
Pass is complete to Porzell.
5 wides in the set here on this third down and 18. Lurch back to pass. Throws the bubble screen. Manuel McPherson breaks the tackle. Down the sideline he goes. Cuts back, still on his feet, to the 30. 2 guys beaten again. He goes down forward, but it's going to be a face mask. Looks like a face mask at the end. As a matter of fact, ripping off Emac's helmet altogether. That should be a face mask, and nonetheless, Emac getting up for the first down.
A little bit gimpy coming up after that hit. So hopefully he'll be able to walk that one off. But McPherson doing a nice job. But he's definitely hampered. It might have taken a hit pointer after that catch.
Defense. The 5-yard penalty to be added to the end of the run. First down.
So Emmanuel McPherson runs off the field now. Is trying to walk it off. He has had a mild ankle sprain that he's been nursing throughout the DeMatha season. But it's a first down and 10 now for the Washington squad. Porzell cuts to the outside, reverses his field, and he's going to get dragged down.
Great play by number 91, Tim Willman, that time for the Baltimore squad. Did a great job in open space of catching Porzell, cut back, tried to go back to the weak side, and then Willman really had to make a solo stop, or Porzell probably would have gone for about 15, 20 yards downfield.
It results in a loss of about 3, so second down 13 now. Ball sits to the 26-yard line of Baltimore. And Porzell once again lone back in the backfield. Wide receivers either side. There's Lurch in trouble, throws, and he's going to throw that away, trying to get a screen going to the backside. Number 80, Cody McGill out of Quince Orchard, but it's heavy pressure up front.
Heavy pressure by number 33 for the Baltimore team, defensive end Horace Miller. And Miller this season coming off a nice season with 29 sacks, and also had a really big one in the state championship game to seal the win for his Poets team. So individual play, just a nice effort there to put pressure on the quarterback and make him throw that ball away early.
Third and 13. The coaches call a timeout. Of course, we were able to hear the Washington coaches here next to us, and looks like they were about to get called with a penalty here as one of the receivers wasn't off the ball. So we'll take a timeout with 6:26 left to go in the half. 16-7 is our score. The Washington squad leads this inaugural Maryland Crab Bowl.
Remember your athletic achievements forever with the help of Incept Multimedia. Incept Multimedia specializes in all aspects of sports video. Our individual highlight videos have helped nearly 100 student athletes play sports at the college level. Remember that great season forever with our team highlight video packages. Or study the game like the pros with our professional game films. Incept Multimedia, your headquarters for video, multimedia, and graphic design. For more info, visit us at sportsmaryland.com or call 410-533-2990.
Back out again, Johnny Unitas Stadium. Nate Lewis along with Matt Gentlecore here and all of our All-In broadcasting crew. 6:26 left to go. It's going to be a 3rd down and 13. Here's Lurch, Washington squad. Throws into the end zone. Emack's there, and it gets knocked away. Boy, the defensive backs have just played big here this afternoon, and we're just seeing some magnificent play. Baltimore's Carroll Washington out of Edmondson Westside knocks it away as Emmanuel McPherson was in the end zone.
Really have been, and we've seen a lot of good plays out of the defensive backs, that time stepping up at the last minute, knocked that ball out. So, again, I think the defensive backs have been impressive all week in practice as well, Nate.
So we're down to 6:20 left. This is going to be a 42-yard field goal now for Washington's Mark Magus. Croninger with the hold. Snap is down, the kick is away. This one's going to be way short. They're going to call that a touchback. And Magus there, he just got way too far under it.
Yeah, short kick that time, and of course he didn't get much underneath that one. Not much of a pass rush, but a good stop there by the Baltimore squad as they escape another field goal attempt.
Well, 6:13 left right now. We're joined by Jeremy Crabtree of Rivals.com. So you guys have been very busy in helping the folks at the Maryland Crab Bowl put this list of great players together. And, well, you got to like what you see out there. Huh?
Oh, this is an impressive first effort for an all-star game. And I've covered a lot of games over 10 years, and this is a neat event and some great talent. Really very impressed with especially the DC squad. They've got a lot of big-time recruits in this game.
Well, it's 1st and 10 for the Baltimore squad. Grant Enders in the game. He's throwing deep, has a man there, tipped up into the air and almost caught. Intended for Raynard Robinson. And the Baltimore fans, they want a flag down here.
They did get a late flag on that one.
They did indeed. Okay, fantastic. Well, what has impressed you thus far? Obviously, with about 14 minutes or so. I'm sorry, make that 20 minutes of a play so right now. I mean, who has impressed thus far?
Well, kind of expected the DC defensive line to come in here and dominate, and they've done a very good job. Deontay Arnett has been unblockable from our observation, and Jason Ankara, another big-time defensive lineman, had the big hit on the safety, and not surprised with him at all. And also like Caleb Porzella, he's an underrated kid going to the University of Maryland, and tell you what, he's more than a speed back. We thought he was just all about speed, but seeing him today and seeing him in practice all week, he's a tough guy that can run inside, so really pleased with how he's played also. Do you like the fact that the Washington squad now has gone out of its way really to feature Caleb Porzella, as if we're looking at good counsel out there right now? You're right. Then you flip it on the other side, the Baltimore squad's been doing a lot of stuff with the Dunbar kids, and I liked Jonathan Perry, the quarterback. He's had a great week of practice also. Once again, folks, we're joined by Jeremy Crabtree of Rivals.com. It's going to be a 2nd and 10 now for the Baltimore squad. Grant Enders, he takes off and will begin about 4 yards
on the play. So many players. I mean, again, they know there's a good number of players, almost a quarter of them that are committed to colleges here as well. But obviously, being a veteran and seeing a lot of these type of all-star games, what does this do for the players that are undecided? Really trying to impress coaches right now.
Well, yeah, this is a great opportunity for a lot of kids maybe that are under the radar. You know, the Emmanuel McPherson has had a couple of big plays in the game. He's a kid that's very under-recruited that might play his way into Division I scholarship. You know, the Gary Fortune kid, it's a great week of practice for him also, and he might play his way into Division I scholarship. So this is everybody knows the household names. It's the guys that maybe are fighting for those last few scholarships from the D1 schools that can step up and earn a ride this week.
Well, 3rd down and 7 with the ball sitting at the Baltimore 23-yard line. Enders with a man in motion. Back to pass. Stepping up and throwing. Ball knocked up into the air, and looks like it's caught. No, they're going to call it incomplete. Raynard Robinson again was the intended receiver.
A quick question for Jeremy. You know, noticing that a player like Porzell, obviously, the verbal commitment to Maryland, maybe, you know, some of the other Division I programs, bigger size, kind of overlooked him. I think he kind of falls in that category of kind of a Brian Westbrook, a guy that's very quick, undersized, and then maybe overlooked by the bigger Division I's?
Yeah, you know what, and I also compare it to a kid I had an opportunity to cover greatly when I was coming out of high school, Darren Sproles, who's playing for the San Diego Chargers. He's built physically just like Darren Sproles was coming out of high school. Great lower body, great speed guy, and yeah, it's funny how sometimes the smaller kids get overlooked a little bit just because of their stature.
Right.
There's a kick to Devin Smith. Breaking the tackle. And still on his feet, and down he goes. And it looks like, again, now that, much like Caleb Porzell, that the Washington squad wants to feature the speedster Devin Smith, who you guys rated as the fastest athlete in the nation.
Yeah, you know, we had a chance. He was out here, won the fastest man competition on Thursday's practice. And, you know, it's not an official time, but he clocked a 4.19 240-yard dash. You know, that's probably, you know, a little bit off, but still, anytime you run at 4.2, 4.3, it's quite impressive. You know, 10 100-meter type kid, and he's going to be kind of interesting to see how they utilize him up at Penn State. I mean, is he going to be the next Norwood, how they use him on special teams? Should be a great fit for what Penn State likes to do with their speed guys.
Washington squad takes over as Lurch pitches to Porzell, ball down on the ground, and Lurch has a fall on it. How much input, or if it's at all possible, I mean, again, with the coaching staff obviously having to deal with the recruiting process, you know, basically year round, you know, if they're looking at a certain player who's going to be working who may or may not be working in a certain system, how do you think the coaches out here would game plan for that?
Well, you're right. It's difficult to have to throw in new schemes and new wrinkles to kids. Like if you come from a run-first offense to come out here and have to run the spread offense. It's amazing how quickly they put this together in just 2 or 3 days of practice.
There's going to be a deep post corner. Devin Smith again. This once again is knocked away. That's Baltimore's Carroll Washington again. I'm really impressed with the play of the defensive backs on both squads.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, obviously, you look on paper, DC's defensive backs are the more highly regarded type kids. You have the Darrell Kivens kid going to Penn State, but both teams do have a lot of speed out there. And, you know, I'm a national guy, and I get an opportunity to see kids in California, Florida, and Texas. And I tell you what, I'm very impressed with what I've seen with just pure speed up here from these Maryland players. Maryland is a very underrated state for just speed on the skill positions.
Yep, now it's a 3rd down and 12. Ball sits at the 49-yard line. Lurch once again to shotgun. Steps back and throws. Or getting ready to throw, and down he goes. And another sack recorded by the Baltimore squad. So what do you like better, the December All-Star games or July All-Star games?
You know what? I like these games like in the December and early January because it gives us a chance to evaluate the kids one last time before we at Rivals.com update our final rankings in January. Because with basketball, you get all the AAU tournaments and things like that. But with football, you don't really have too many opportunities to see kids compete, get head-to-head in all-star competitions. So I love these December events, and you know the Crab Bowl has turned out to be a big game, and I can't wait to start covering it here in the next couple of years. It should be fun to follow.
Washington squad in punt formation, and that's going to be a bad punt. But it does take a Washington bounce. And I guess given the fact as well that most of these players here, particularly some of them who have played in the championships, are still in football shape.
Exactly. And you also don't have to worry about college coaches telling kids not to come because you might be close enough to the fall camp where if you get injured in an all-star event, it could hurt your chances to play early. So this has been very well supported by the local community and all the college coaches. They're really jumping on board with this, and it's going to be fun to see what this is going to be 2 or 3 years from now.
Well, there's a lot of action, about 5 minutes of which you just missed, Jeremy. I'm going to let you get back to work, but we certainly appreciate you joining us here. Once again,
guys. Thank you.
Jeremy Crabtree of Rivals.com, one of the many in the media covering this game here. The Maryland Crab Bowl, 16-7 is our score. And the Baltimore squad taking over with a new quarterback in Evan Harris now. And he steps back in the shotgun. He's in trouble, and he's going down. And with three of the red-clad Washington squad, David McCall makes a tackle here, but Evan Harris, check that, no, 17, that's Kevin Fulton, the quarterback out of Milford Mills.
7 yards, second down.
So we had a whole lot of changes here in the lineup since we've been talking to Jeremy. And Jeremy does great stuff for that Rivals.com site. If folks are interested in tracking all these players and seeing what they're up to post this game, that's another great way to find out more information.
And he's another one of those guys that has probably one of the hardest jobs. I'm sure he gets a lot of flack for the players, not necessarily those that they rank, but the ones that they don't. I mean, again, he was talking about Caleb Porzell. We've seen him several times, and he's one of the most electrifying players we've seen in a very long time. Now, one of these national guys gets a chance to take a look at him, and of course, then they have a shot at being able to better evaluate him. Here's Fulton. Throws deep into coverage, and it's going to be caught! Oh, my goodness! Alec Lemon makes the catch in double coverage.
We talked about how good Alec Lemon can be, the big wide receiver headed for Syracuse. And he has great instincts for the football. Make sure he gets himself in position to make a catch about 35 yards downfield and makes a catch inbounds at the 45-yard lines, just over 2 defenders. So a great job by the offense there. Baltimore starting to feel that there's only 2 minutes left. They got to put something together here.
1:48 left. Here's Fulton in the shotgun handoff. Austin breaks tackle, turns to the outside, but he's going to get dropped for a loss. And it's Washington's John Darr, number 40, out of Suitland.
Great pursuit that time by Darr, who really gets out after him on the inside handoff that time. Darr coming up, making a tackle on the backfield, knocks him down for a couple-yard loss.
And it's going to be a timeout call for the Washington squad with 1:31 left to go in the half. 16-7 is our score. This is the Maryland Crab Bowl 2008.
Remember your athletic achievements forever with the help of Incept Multimedia. Incept Multimedia specializes in all aspects of sports video. Our individual highlight videos have helped nearly 100 student athletes play sports at the college level. Remember that great season forever with our team highlight video packages. Or study the game like the pros with our professional game films. Incept Multimedia, your headquarters for video, multimedia, and graphic design. For more info, visit us at sportsmaryland.com or call 410-533-2990.
Action once again, the Baltimore squad with the ball after the big first down. Now 2nd down and 12 of the ball at the Washington 47-yard line. It is Fulton. Straight drop back, steps up, looks, hit as he throws, a big wide open over the middle. Sean Farr, he breaks one tackle. It's going to be down at the 24-yard line.
Fulton's pass complete to Farr.
Well, that was a blown coverage.
Yeah, Farr was sitting right there in the middle of that zone, and he was open right at the 25-yard line. And nice job by the quarterback to buy himself some more time, elude that pass rush, and then make a strike down the middle of the field. So Baltimore's on the roll here.
Oh, making a big first down to 10, the Washington 24-yard line. Fulton back to pass. Steps up, has row. Down to the 10-yard line. And gets rung out of bounds. Lauren Gorey, the linebacker out of Charles Flowers makes the tackle, but not before Fulton gets a big gain.
Fulton's a big quarterback that time. Makes a nice play that time off the broken play. Runs right up the middle that time, cuts it to the outside sideline. Fulton's a guy who more of a pro-style quarterback with the big arm, but you know, obviously he can run the ball when things break down. This season passed for almost 1,600 yards, 13 touchdowns, and he rushed for 470 yards and 10 runs. So he's also a very diverse quarterback who has the ability to rumble for some yardage on the ground.
Well, Fulton gets in the shotgun again. 1st and goal. Ball to the 4-yard line of Washington. Getting the snap, and he's going to run. And gets maybe a yard or two on the play. A whole host of the Washington contingent. It's Isaiah Ross making a tackle out of Eleanor Roosevelt.
That's the 3rd and final charge time.
So the final timeout called by Baltimore with 40 seconds left to go in the half. 16-7 is the score. The Washington squad leads in this inaugural Crab Bowl 2008.
Remember your athletic achievements forever with the help of Incept Multimedia. Incept Multimedia specializes in all aspects of sports video. Our individual highlight videos have helped nearly 100 student athletes play sports at the college level. Remember that great season forever with our team highlight video packages. Or study the game like the pros with our professional game films. Incept Multimedia, your headquarters for video, multimedia, and graphic design. For more info, visit us at sportsmaryland.com or call 410-533-2990.
Down and goal here for the Baltimore squad. Looking to close the gap now at the 16-7 lead by the Washington squad now. It's Fulton in the shotgun. Austin goes in motion. Back to pass. Goes into the end zone. Man is there. Caught. Touchdown. Baltimore's 86, Dave Steinbach. He's made a couple of big catches here this afternoon, and that's a big one there.
That's a huge one. Obviously, that time Fulton had good protection in the pocket and finds the tight end Steinbach. Just a little cross pattern across the middle there. It sits down in the end zone and makes that catch. Nice job. And Steinbach's obviously a big target with good hands, so he's going to look for a guy like that. For Baltimore to get back in this one, it'll be interesting, but they're only going to go for one here, down by 16-13.
And the kick is away. It looks good, and it is good by number 19, Jacob Peary. And so with 35 seconds left, the Baltimore squad is pulled to within 3, making it 16-14.
There is a black Hyundai in the parking lot.
So,
HXL 213.
well, we've certainly seen a myriad of talent out here, Matt, that has obviously, again, for folks who are watching this or happen to be in the stands here as well. I mean, you got to say, wow, this football in Maryland is pretty good.
No, I mean that's pretty much an understatement, Nate. I think you look at some of the players that have played, and you just go down the list of who's got scholarships offers and which schools are looking at them. I mean, there's just a plethora of talent as far as some of these guys. Almost all these players have Division I interest or verbal commitments already or commitments. So, I mean, that goes with the territory. I think it's kind of an overlooked area as we talked about with Jeremy Crabtree from Rivals.com. Just because the Texas and the Floridas and the Californias get a lot of the hype because they have players that have better weather. They kind of have more opportunities to play during nicer parts of the year. But I think a lot of these athletes on these squads are also track athletes. So you got to give them another nod for their speed and their athleticism.
It's going to be a squibber. Up the middle, went off the shoulder pad of one of the upbacks and finally fallen on by Washington's Devin Bridges. Of course, Kevin Fulton, who led that march down the field by the Baltimore squad, because he has a number of choices: Maryland, Pitt, North Carolina, A&T, Morgan State, Illinois, and Syracuse.
First down, Washington at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, he might open himself up a few more doors after a play like that. So, Nice drive put together by the senior quarterback, and showed the arms as well as the feet, making some nice plays and getting in the end zone to get Baltimore within one score.
Well, George Lurch remains the quarterback here, and he's going to kneel down as the Washington squad will just sit on this lead of 16-7, or 16-14, that is. Yeah, looks like we got a good one here, folks. You stick around with us, folks. This is the Maryland Crab Bowl 2008.
Remember your athletic achievements forever with the help of Incept Multimedia. Incept Multimedia specializes in all aspects of sports video. Our individual highlight videos have helped nearly 100 student athletes play sports at the college level. Remember that great season forever with our team highlight video packages. Or study the game like the pros with our professional game films. Incept Multimedia, your headquarters for video, multimedia, and graphic design. For more info, visit us at sportsmaryland.com or call 410-533-2990.
We're back out again at Johnny Unitas Stadium. 16-14 is our score. The Washington squad leads the Baltimore squad here in this inaugural Crab Bowl. Nate Lewis once again with Matt Gillicore. Well, Matt, the Stars certainly have come out here as on this cold day in December. Certainly, one of the things that has certainly stood out in our mind is the commitment that the Washington squad has made to showcasing Caleb Porzell. Not to disrespect any other players here as well. And then in that also the Baltimore squad, where we saw Tavon Austin with the big play and make big plays in that first half. Again, as Jeremy Crabtree was talking to us earlier, it's those unsung heroes, or those players that are uncommitted and maybe trying to make an impression, who did make an impression in that first half.
Yeah, there were a lot of those guys that flew under the radar, I thought, that made some nice plays. We had Gary Fortune, who made some good plays therefore. But, of course, the scoring got off to a great start with Porzell and his touchdown run. And then, of course, he had another 9-yard touchdown run in the second quarter. So, really, they were going to feature a guy that had so much speed and so much talent as far as catching the ball and making plays after the catch in Porzell, and then trying to allow this Baltimore squad a chance to catch up to them. So, finally, Baltimore, with some athletic plays, were able to make it a close game by the end of half, only down 2 points.
A lot of the experts over at Press Row right next to us think that the Washington squad would have an advantage here, obviously with the size of both the offensive and defensive lines here. But you got to like again, as you mentioned, the athleticism of the Baltimore squad, and the fact it seems as though that as the game goes along, they're playing with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, to being sort of under-respected, as it were.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're gonna go out here because they've been undersized a little bit, and a lot of the scouting firms have kind of put them down as not the favorite. Baltimore's come out here, they've made plays, they're a little bit more aggressive in their offensive play calling, and that's paid off, particularly on that last series when they went downfield with Fulton, doing a great job of getting them back in this one. The big quarterback doing a nice job on that run, and then finally with that touchdown pass at the end of the play to the tight end that got them within 2 points.
Well, this is where it gets to be fun now. I mean, obviously, again, they're showcasing the players. That might be the first job of the coaches out there right now. But they're in a tight ball game right now. So I mean, on both sides, and so they're going to start thinking about winning this ball game as well, because you have coaching staffs again coming off championships and playoffs, and because you got players coming off championships and playoffs as well. They can't put the pads on and not think win. So that ought to make for a very interesting second half.
Yeah, I think that they're kind of torn between trying to play all the players that they want to, as well as playing the players that have been productive in the first half. You might look at putting a guy like Tom Cronger in for a few plays, see what he can do. Of course, he has started the ball game, but then again, you want to win this game. These coaches are competitive. These players are competitive. So it's going to be a real interesting dichotomy as far as getting playing time versus getting that victory at the end of this one.
Bottom line, the fans and you folks watching right now, we're going to see something special here in this second half, because there's some special players out there. So second half action coming up in just a moment. 16-14 is our halftime score. This is the 2008 Maryland Crab Bowl.
Remember your athletic achievements forever with the help of Incept Multimedia. Incept Multimedia specializes in all aspects of sports video. Our individual highlight videos have helped nearly 100 student athletes play sports at the college level. Remember that great season forever with our team highlight video packages. Or study the game like the pros with our professional game films. Incept Multimedia, your headquarters for video, multimedia, and graphic design. For more info, visit us at sportsmaryland.com or call 410-533-2990.
ESPNRise.com, of course, covers Maryland football and other sports here as well. Well, Mike, you got to like what you saw thus far that first half.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic game. You know, it's kind of surreal to see all these kids on the same field at the same time.
Well, Devin Smith's going to chase down the kickoff down to the 2-yard line. Has a little bit of room, but a whole lot of white shirts in front of him. Able to break out. Down the sideline he goes. And he's off to the races. Well, the fastest man in the country has just proved it right there. He goes 92 yards.
No flags.
Oh, what do you think of that, Mike?
Yeah, I think that's about encapsulates.
No, there's a flag.
There's a flag now.
Flag down at the 50-yard line, but yeah, it was just Devin Smith and a couple of the Baltimore players.
Sideline warning, Washington. The touchdown is good.
That was a real
Oh, that's something.
That was a real scare, isn't it?
All right.
I'm too excited.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, of course, we talked about the talent. Of course, there's Devin Smith right there that goes 92 yards. Certainly, again, this is nothing new. A lot of speed coming out of the state of Maryland here. But, I mean, of those players, because Devin Smith and maybe Caleb Porzell and others up there as well, I mean, it certainly seems to be a banner year for these skill players in speed.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think probably the strongest year in Maryland probably since Derek Williams, who's at Penn State right now, came out about 5 years ago. He was considered the #1 prospect. You know, obviously Penn State's got a few more, as we know, with Devin Smith right there. So I'm sure they're pretty happy right now. But defense in Maryland is really strong this year. Defensive backs and our defensive line is looking really good.
Adam Lemmert, he misses the extra point. It's going to leave it at a 22-14 score now as the Washington squad has extended the lead here on the Devin Smith 92-yard kickoff return. Well, you know, again, I know in visiting the Maryland varsity website of ESPN Rise, you know, you guys do a great job of ranking teams, you know, both top to bottom in the public and the private schools here as well. And of course, I'm sure you get a lot of feedback from many of the cohorts and fans across the country. How would Maryland rate as far as the overall talent of high school ball around the country?
Well, overall, I mean, we're always going to fall, you know, somewhere in line behind California, Texas, the Pennsylvanias, things like that. But what the kind of trend in football seems to be is they're recruiting a lot more athletes. And Maryland we've always had good athletes. Like, we don't necessarily produce, you know, the best quarterbacks or any position players, but, you know, as guys like Tavon Austin, Caleb Porzell, Devin Smith, these guys are showing they're athletic. They can play in multiple positions. You know, with the advent of the slot right now, we've been popular in football.
Yeah.
You know, a lot more attention is being paid to Maryland, but we've been producing these kind of athletes for a number of years now.
Well, Mark Magus will be kicking off. Tavon Austin's right in the middle of the three receivers. And letting it roll is going to be Austin at the 20-yard line. Cuts it to the outside, breaks the tackle, and will be down around the 32-yard line.
Tavon Austin, 13-yard return.
And you made mention of really the recruiting wars that obviously have been going on here in the state of Maryland for years, and certainly you know, Maryland's right in the thick of it. But when you look at the Penn States of the world, and then of course I mean again Syracuse and other schools there as well. I mean, there are plenty of coaches on their staff, particularly those that are involved with the recruiting process, that have ties to this area.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the biggest cases is Mike Loxley, who's now at New Mexico. I think New Mexico's going to start. You're going to see a lot more interest in him. Obviously, he was with Illinois. You know, Illinois had been heavy recruiting this area for the past couple years since Ron Zook took over. Yeah. And I think you'll see New Mexico kind of following in line with that as well.
Once again, Mike Loveday of Maryland Varsity at ESPNRise.com joining us here for this beginning of the second half here of the Maryland Crab Bowl. The Baltimore squad is taking over.
I was going to ask Mike, do you think that Coach Friesen at Maryland had kind of maybe lost out on some of the local recruiting prospects to some of the maybe peripheral states kind of swooping in past years, and now he's kind of done a better job in the last couple of years?
I wouldn't say he's so much lost that. I think Maryland, they do a pretty good job of getting the guys that they want. You know, anybody who follows recruiting, like everybody has their opinion on certain players. You think you might, like, why did they not recruit this guy, not recruit that guy? But, I mean, if you look at the recruiting class, I mean, they got guys like David McCall, Caleb Porzell, Deontay Arnett. I mean, they're getting, you know, some of the top quality players. I mean, you know, a lot of people could say they missed out on Sean Stanley, Brandon Felder, but they're getting other guys, so they might be missing out on one or two, but overall, you know, their recruiting class in the state has got to be one of the best. I mean, I think they probably have a better one than Penn State at this point, just looking at Maryland players, obviously.
Right.
And I often find it, I mean, it's got to be one of the most difficult things in the world, particularly for these recruiters here, where, you know, a lot of times the fortune of your program lies in the minds of a 17-year-old.
Right, yeah.
So as we get back to action here after the stoppage of play, the referees were explaining some things to the Baltimore squad. Maybe how, like, they should have hired a get-back coach, apparently. 4 wides in the set, and we're looking once again at Kevin Fulton setting up in the shotgun. Steps up, has time, and he ran out. That'll be number 58, Drew Chiripko, out of Northwest, getting the sack there as well. And I was, you know, we were talking about with Jeremy Crabtree earlier about, I mean, particularly I'm impressed with the play of the skill players defensively, particularly these defensive backs.
Yeah, the defensive backs. I mean, obviously highlighted by guys like Gary Fortune Ferlacki, who's kind of really emerged this year. You know, early in the season was Daryl Givens and Malcolm Willis, the two guys that are committed to Penn State that a lot of people were talking about. Fortune, we talked to his coaches earlier this week, and he really came out of nowhere to have a phenomenal senior season. And obviously, you guys got Travis Hawkins, who's not in there right now, but you know, we had defensive backs for the DC squad are pretty talented with Derek Thomas and Stephon Morris, and I mean the list just keeps going on.
Well, 2nd down and 18 after the loss. There's Fulton in the shotgun once again. Man goes in motion. Running out of the pocket and throws it away.
And maybe who are some of the other players maybe that have kind of flown under the radar a little bit as far as, you know, everyone knows about Lonnie Jenkins, but how about some other guys that have maybe started to kind of improve their stock?
You know, a couple guys. One guy I think you guys might have noticed today is Carroll Washington for Edmondson. Yeah. He made a couple outstanding defensive plays on at defensive back for the Baltimore squad. He's a guy, you know, first 2 years at Edmondson. I mean, he won a 2A state title as a quarterback, and then he made the switch to wide receiver and defensive back this year for the team. And you know, he's really put on a lot of size. I mean, I remember talking to him his sophomore year, and he was just a scrawny little guy. And you know, now he looks the part of a Division I defensive back. And I think he's helping prove that today, going up against some of these guys.
Well, as your world, particularly with many of those who who have to cover high school sports, although you're dealing with the state of Maryland for the most part, you know, you really got to start tracking these guys real early right here. I mean, we're joking. My partner Matt just just enjoyed the birth of his child, and I was saying, well, you know, he's already in the Rivals Top 120.
It does start getting it starts going earlier. I mean, there's some of these guys like Arnold Farmer for the Baltimore squad. I saw him when he was still a sophomore at the local Bullseye Combine for underclassmen, so, you know.
Oh my, just missing on a long pass. Renard Robinson was down there. Fulton able to break out of a tackle, and we have a flag down as well.
I think we're getting a flag on every play from now on.
Yeah. Well, we got an all-star referee squad down there as well. All right.
Yeah, it seems like the youth movement in football has really progressed. You know, I know we know Coach McGregor pretty well from the math, and he talks about how that's changed. That landscape has changed over the last couple of years, particularly with with high school coaches going to these youth games, and kind of it's really shifted down to that level.
Yeah, I think with it used to be kids used to play multiple sports. You know, they got done with football and they'd move on to basketball, or it seems more and more especially with football, it seems like it's, you know, a year-round sport. Like, as soon as the season ends, you have, you know, these all-star games like this, and then you have combines that basically start up in March. So, I mean, kids are basically training for, you know, just their one sport now. They're not, you know, playing those other sports, so they start doing that earlier, you know. Starts their freshman, sophomore year. I mean, we had a 8th grader at the Nike Baltimore Combine this year. I mean, I don't know how he got in, but, you know, there was an 8th grader. I mean, he was obviously smaller.
David Steinball with the kick is going to be end over end. Manuel McPherson takes on the run at the 40-yard line and slips down and gets hit at the same time. And again, a flag goes down. Well, Mike, obviously one of the things that you good folks do at Maryland Varsity is, of course, rank some of the top teams, and of course, as the season goes along, it changes here. Who came up this year, and that was a bit of a surprise?
Bit of a surprise. You know, I would say Westlake was probably, you know, maybe one of the more surprised teams, just because Lackey, the previous season, had made a good run in the playoffs to kind of made a late run, so they were looking like the team to beat. But, you know, Westlake really came on late. I would say the other team in 3A was Wild Lake. You know, they were another team, kind of Howard County. You know, River Hill's kind of the talk of that county. So what Wild Lake did with the championship game, I would say those two teams may have been the biggest, I guess, if you would say, surprise. They're always competitive, but don't usually go that deep.
Well, now the Washington squad out on the field now, and taking over quarterback will be Good Counsel's Tyler Campbell, the 6'1", 189-pounder. Boy, the referees are just real busy here this afternoon. I noticed all of a sudden.
Well, earning their money today.
Had to get that spot right.
Okay, there you go.
We've seen a lot of the Campbell, of course, the last couple of years. A 2-year starter at Good Counsel. Good pocket quarterback. Nice touch on the football. Came up short, of course, in the WCAC championship game to Matha, of course, after the undefeated season.
Well, long pitch coming here near side. Flag is down again. And Washington's Justin Ford gets pushed out of bounds. Looks like we're going to have a hold against that Washington squad. You know, and talking about Tyler Campbell, Mike, obviously he's a guy that we've seen the last couple of years. Has just, you know, done a great job with a lot of talent really on that in the backfield for Bob Malloy's Good Counsel squad here. Where would you rank a guy like Tyler Campbell?
In the quarterbacks, I'm not sure if he's going to be Division one AA quarterback. I think his college future might lie in another position. But as far as like his high school career, he's just an extremely efficient quarterback. I think he proved it in the game on ESPN2 against DeMatha. You know, I don't think he had an incomplete pass that whole game. I mean, just a very efficient, has a good touch on the ball. He's not going to make the long throw, but, you know, everything, you know, within 20-25 yards, it's going to be very accurate, and he's not going to turn the ball over.
Right now, he's facing the 1st and 27 after the penalty. And it's going to be 5 wides in the set, as his teammate Caleb Porzell to his right. Straight drop back, quick flip to Porzell, but that's nicely defended. That's Baltimore's Brandon Copeland. Well, Mike, I want to thank you very much for joining us here.
Appreciate
and again, Mike Loveday of Maryland Varsity, ESPNRise.com. But before we let you go, who's going to be a top 5 next year?
Top 5. Funny thing, we've already started talking about. I think we don't know for sure top 5, but we're pretty sure Leonore is looking like the preseason #1. All right. So, and you'll probably have teams like Sherwood, and if Al Thomas comes back, you know, kind of right back in there.
All right, fantastic. Mike, thank you very much for joining us once again.
Guys.
All right, that's Mike Loveday of Maryland Varsity, ESPNRise.com right here. 22-14 is our score. And it's Tyler Campbell on a 2nd down, 26, and the flip going to Devin Smith. Cutting back, going to the outside, almost making a move, or getting a move, and being down by number 24, Carl Fleming, the defensive back out of Franklin.
Yeah, Fleming, nice play that time. Gets him out after the catch. Fleming, really the physical play of a linebacker, but he's very athletic like a defensive back, so it shows you what he can do in the open field that time with the tackle on the play. So now we're seeing Campbell hook up with some of his Good Counsel teammates and see if they can get a little bit more in sync here as they go down on 3rd down and long.
So 3rd down, 21, and a whole lot of movement both sides of the ball. This one may go against Washington, though. Looks like Pete D'Souza took off.
Yeah, I think, well, D'Souza and maybe another.
It wasn't Homer Simpson, by the way, no.
False start, offense. It's a 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
that was probably more of what we expected as far as penalties to be. Some of those, procedure calls and lining up in the wrong spot calls, but those have been pretty limited. We've seen a lot more of the other varieties so far in this game.
Well, after that, it makes it 3rd and 26 now. Campbell trying to get this offense back on track. Handoff, Caleb Porzel. He gets tripped up, and down he goes, and I think that might have been just the turf itself. It looks like nobody was really around him, but that's going to make it a 4th down now.
Yeah, Porzel couldn't get much going on that one. Tried to go up the middle there to pick up some of those yards lost on a long 3rd down, but this brings up one of the few times that the Washington DC squads have had to punt. So we'll see what they can do after a good series by Baltimore.
Well, for Washington, punt formation is Anthony Wiseman. And the kick is away. Nice kick. Going to be taken by Carroll Washington, and he gets run out of bounds right about the 35-yard line.
First down, Baltimore.
Washington's Chris Everett out of Sherwood knocks him out of bounds. Well, this is the 2008 Maryland Crab Bowl live from Johnny United Stadium, the Minigan Field. Nate Lewis, Matt Gentlecore with you here. Big congratulations to Chuck Harmon and his staff. Of course, Sean O'Connor of All In Broadcasting doing a great job of putting this inaugural edition on. And certainly some great talent out here at Towson University. Looks like there's Perry back in the game. A lot of pushing and shoving as the flag goes down. And Jonathan Perry trying to go far side to number 44, David Muse.
Interference. Defense. The 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, a lot of contact that time on the pass play. So that's going to bring up another 1st down. And Baltimore gets a quick penalty to start this drive, so they'll be all the way down to the 50-yard line. Of course, we're seeing some of the same stars that we initially had begun this game with are still in the lineup. So both coaches obviously are going to try to play some of their best hands out here.
Yeah, this is where these all-star games get interesting now. 4 wides in the set. Perry in trouble, runs out of a tackle, and he slips down. Got it altered by number 79, Deontay Arnett out of Forestville. Got a hand on him, and that was enough to trip him up. And it's going to be down for a big loss. We'll make it 2nd down, about 18.
Yeah, Arnett's really a speed rusher type of physical player that can cause problems. You saw what he did on that last play where he was able to get around that outside edge and then get his arm just to disrupt the quarterback's feet and spin him out of control a little bit so he couldn't run out of that pocket. And he goes down. So now this is a big 2nd down and long for the Baltimore squad. Nice play by Deontay Arnett and the front 4 for Washington, playing well in this 2nd half.
So it's going to be a 2nd down and 18. Going to be a handoff. Coming here near side, still on his feet and getting wrapped up and dropped.
Austin carries.
It's Austin with the carry.
Gain of 3, 3rd down.
Tackle made by number 55, Jason Ankra, for the DC squad, rated as the top 30 defensive end by a lot of the scouts. He's very quick off the ball. You saw him on that last play. He likes to pass rush. He gets his hands on the running back and brings him down.
Well, now it's going to be a 3rd down and 14 here for the Baltimore squad. Now Steinbach sets up as a wide receiver here near side. 1 of 3 on that side, 1 to the far. Here's Perry in the shotgun. In trouble, runs away from the tackler. And now they finally got him. Well, again, things broke down quickly down on the offensive line of the Baltimore squad, and Deontay Arnett in there again.
Yeah, also also helped by Isaiah Ross with the DC squad, another player who had coming off an outstanding season, 70 tackles, 12.5 sacks, 2 interceptions. And those two guys put a lot of pressure in the backfield, and that's a huge loss on 3rd down. So this is, all of a sudden they were at the 50. Now they're back inside the 30-yard line for Baltimore.
Steinbach in punt formation. And Smith and Porzell back to receive. Going to be end-over-end kick. That's going to be Caleb Porzell. Gets hit once, twice, and down he goes.
Porzell returns.
It was Nick DaPola out of Harford. He made the initial hit. And then got a little help from David Moose.
Paul, a nice job that time coming up with his teammate making the special teams play, but DC gets the ball back after a good defensive series where they really were able to bring the Baltimore squad back after a couple first downs. Took them way out of contention.
Now we got 4 wides in the set. Campbell remains quarterback. He's in the shotgun. Hands off to Porzell. Porzell, and there's a jailbreak at the defensive line. And bringing him down, Arnold Farmer, the big guy, 6'1", 306 pounds out of Baltimore Poly.
And good job by Farmer, the big man up there.
3 yards, 2nd down.
Who really stuffed that middle. So not much gain after a first down run by DC squad.
Well, with a 2nd down, there's Campbell. Throws deep, has a man there, and tipped up into the air, and it's caught! Bobbled and caught by number 8, Alex Blake. And the play goes 25, make that 30 yards, and it will be a Washington first down.
First down, Washington.
Well, that's a good job of concentrating.
It sure was. And we talked about how well Campbell back in the pocket can throw that ball. And that time a great catch. We haven't seen a lot of that of Alex Blake, the wide receiver, yet, but that time running down that far sideline, gets the ball almost off the defender's shoulder, knocks up, taps it back to himself, and makes a catch for a huge first down. Catch and conversion.
So first down and 10. That's Campbell back to pass, going to throw into the end zone. Has a man there, but double covered. And a pass a little bit out in front of the intended receiver, number 23, Gary Fortune.
2nd down.
This time Fortune playing on the other side of the ball. And now it's going to bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, a lot of people have been talking about, a lot of the scouts have been talking about Gary Fortune. Had a really nice season for Lackey, defensive back, also wide receiver, but he's picking up a lot of college interest now as far as a guy who kind of was a little bit, unnoticed, and now starting to get some attention from a lot of the MAC schools.
Quick flip, Devin Smith, he's got one-on-one, cuts back and gets run out of bounds around the 20-yard line. That should be enough for a first down depending on the spot. The spot may be just short. Well, now check that. They put it at the 20-yard line.
First down, Washington.
And so it is a first down. 5:30 left to go in the third. 22-14 our score. The Washington squad leads in this inaugural Crab Bowl. So once again, 4 wides in the set here for the Washington squad. Campbell in the shotgun, Porzell to his left. Throwing the fade. Once again going to Fortune. Jump ball makes it catch, but it's going to be a touchdown and a flag down. Now, Fortune may have gotten away with a push here, or not gotten away with a push.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting call here. I don't know. That looks like the official might get. Yep.
Yeah. See, Courtney Bridget was there, and as he was trying to go back, and really that was a nice play by Fortune. If he's a little quicker with his hands, he can get away with that. I mean, he needs to watch some more film of Michael Irvin.
I don't know if he has the size of Irvin, but
yeah.
He's a little bit smaller, but he did a nice job of, I mean, a lot of times I think you'll get that call as an offensive player, as a wide receiver, to go with you. So it's worth a shot. Even though he got called for it, it takes his team a little bit further back, but he tried to make a play on the ball with a little bit of extracurriculars hands. I can live with that one.
Second down, 25 now. Campbell steps up and gets hit hard and dropped. Brandon Copeland, big guy out of Gilman, takes Campbell down for a loss.
Yeah, Copeland, a big defensive tackle who we saw earlier this year play against the DeMatha team, and Gilman came up, I think, a bit of a surprise and won that game. And dropping DeMatha, who started off as a little bit of a rocky start this season, but came back and, just like they always do, wound up winning the WCAC championship.
Yes, indeed. Now it's a third down and 34. Campbell, quick flip, inside. It's going to go to Blake. Cuts it to the outside. Now still on his feet. Turns, spins. Will not get enough of the first down, but get about maybe 17 yards of it back.
Pass complete to Alex Blake.
Well, Blake out of Friendly High School, 6'1", 175 pounds. He bench presses 235 pounds. He runs a 4.47 and a vertical of 33. And his college choices are Pittsburgh, Syracuse, and Akron.
He's starting to get some more attention, obviously. I think he's another one of those players who probably hasn't got all the accolades, but got some opportunities there definitely to play, particularly with some of the schools he's got on his list.
Whistle blows, and we're going to have a stoppage of play. It's going to actually be a timeout called Washington squad. So with 3:20 left to go in the third quarter, 22-14 is our score, and it is the Washington squad with the lead. This is the Maryland Crab Bowl.
Remember your athletic achievements forever with the help of Incept Multimedia. Incept Multimedia specializes in all aspects of sports video. Our individual highlight videos have helped nearly 100 student athletes play sports at the college level. Remember that great season forever with our team highlight video packages. Or study the game like the pros with our professional game films. Incept Multimedia, your headquarters for video, multimedia, and graphic design. For more info, visit us at sportsmaryland.com or call 410-533-2990.
Back out again at Johnny Unitas Stadium. It's a fourth down. Here's Campbell back to pass. Throws deep. Has Carter. Check that. Meemack there. Makes the catch at the 4-yard line. What a play by Emmanuel McPherson. He had a man all over him, and it was a guy that was playing a pretty good game up to that point, Carroll, Washington.
Well, these two guys have hooked up, you know, as far as a great combination. That time McPherson runs that pattern about 20 yards downfield, and he just snatches that ball between two defenders there out inside the 5-yard line. Makes an outstanding catch, being a little bit undersized for the receiver, McPherson, and we just talked about some of his recent recruiting exploits as he's starting to get some more attention from colleges as well. So plays like that, he's going to start to get a couple more offers after this game.
By the way, that's the second pass this year he's caught from Tyler Campbell. However, the first one was in the WCAC championship. It was an interception by EMAC for a touchdown. There's a handoff going for two. Going to the back of the end zone, tipped up in the air and dropped. They had a man in the back of the end zone, did Tyler Campbell and Cody McGill. But it was Courtney Bridget who knocked the ball away, and so now.
Yeah, Campbell drops back. They're trying to go play action to the tight end there. Cody McGill, a big target. And he's been successful as a tight end, but I think looking at a lot of scouts think he's going to be better on the next level as a pass blocker. But a pretty good blocking tight end, and he'll probably get some some more interest as he goes forward as well.
Yeah, check it. This is second down, by the way. It's going to be a handoff. Caleb Porzell cuts back up against the grain, still on his feet, goes in, touchdown. Caleb Porzell with his third touchdown in this All-Star game.
Touchdown, Washington.
Porzell's made it look pretty easy in this one. That time he goes off that left side, makes a couple cuts, and gets into the end zone again for his third one of the ball game.
Well, I think also if we're, obviously playing along with what the coaching staff is trying to do and feature Caleb Porzell, it's not just all speed. It's not just all working to the outside. He's getting the tough yards here today as well.
Yeah, he really is. He's shown what he can do as far as, kind of a guy who can play down and dirty in the middle and then also get out to the edge and make people miss. So he's done a lot.
Limerick on the kick, and the kick is a way end over end kick. It is good. 29-14 to score. And now the Washington squad has opened up a bit of a lead with 2:24. A lot of football still to be played. Again, we're seeing a showcase of some of the best in the state of Maryland, some of the best in the country here as well. And again, as we heard, Jeremy Crabtree, who has to look at all 16,000 players around the country, as well. I think it's getting his first good look at Caleb Porzell. You can see what a special player he is.
Yeah, you really can. We've had more exposure to him, of course, but that's why I brought up to him. I think he. We look at Porzell listed at 5'8", 180. That's pretty generous with his dimensions. But
yeah,
you watch him on the field against 11 guys, and I wouldn't be surprised if some other schools start to get in the mix here. Even though he's given the commitment to Maryland, but you got a player of that quickness with toughness as well. He's going to be he can be used in so many different ways.
Magus kicks off. Going to be taken by one of the up-backs, working it to the outside, getting hit hard and dropped. And number 25, Jeremy Howe, to Cambridge South Dorchester. He takes it up to the 37-yard line.
First down, Baltimore at the 37-yard line.
Now Baltimore, who were able to, late in the first half, were able to get a little momentum and make this game close, now have their work cut out for them.
Yeah, they do, and they got to get back to playing better at the quarterback position to start out with, and finding receivers and making some just some simple pass plays to pick up yards after the catch. That's what they hadn't been doing in the first half. That was successful.
Well, Perry in the shotgun, throwing deep, looking, and it's going to be overthrown, picked off. Picked off, coming the other way is Gabriel Johnson. And it looks like Perry got a little confused whether or not he was going to throw a seam pass or a fade to his teammate, Sean Farr, and hung that up there, and Gabriel Johnson had easy pickings.
Yeah, Gabriel Johnson really read that one pretty well. The ball was hung up there about 30 yards downfield, and he just ran underneath it and made an excellent play on it. And again, that's what we were talking about, that Baltimore squad, they just can't go for the big strike every time. They have to go for some more sustained, high percentage football. And that means short passes. That means, getting yards after the catch versus trying to go downfield every time for some long bombs.
Well, Campbell still in at the quarterback. Going to hand off. Coming here to the near side is Ford. Still on his feet, and he gets rung down. That might be a horse collar, but no call there. He's brought down by Caleb Morris.
Ford carries.
He gets about 7 yards on the run, so it's going to be second down, about 3.
Caleb Morris that time, great job of getting around the edge. No, he grabs him close to the shoulder pads. The big man pulls him down. And we talked about what he's done so far this season. Also one of the top offensive tackles in the area, even though he's playing on the defensive side. He's got the size. He can play both sides of the football.
1:23 left to go. Campbell, straight drop back. Got a little in and out pattern to Emmanuel McPherson, but too far out in front of McPherson, so it's going to bring up third down.
Yeah, Campbell's starting to like McPherson now.
Oh yeah.
Didn't like him back in the back at Navy Memorial Stadium, but all of a sudden he's becoming one of his go-to targets.
Yeah, McPherson, a very interesting type of a receiver. He might be better as a defensive back, but again, that can be determined later. I mean, he has the ability to go for the jump balls, has that just enough height, and the speed is certainly there as well. Kind of a hybrid. Now, big third down. Here's Campbell. Goes far side, going to Ford. Ford with the catch. He backs up, and he's going to go forward, and he may have been stopped short of the first down. He had the first down, then he backed up.
Yeah, he just really caught that ball. And depending on the spot, looks like they gave him a pretty good spot, but he did.
Yeah.
Right, he just had to fall forward to get that first down, but he tried to make an extra move and take a back step. He might have backed himself out of a first down.
Yeah, now they're going to bring out the chains here, but Justin Ford, he had the first down, and I tell you what, wherever he may end up in college, whether it's Rhode Island, Fairmont State, or Delaware, they're going to say it's just short, so it's going to be fourth down.
That's a tough spot to go for it.
That'll be one of the first things they teach them. Keep going forward, please. Right. Nonetheless, still a decent play by Justin Ford. He's a first-team All-SMAC Conference, first-team All-County this year. The extra newspapers call him first team, and same as last year.
Yeah, Ford had a really good season. You know, also played defensive back, where he had 4 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries, returned 9 punts, and kickoff returns, including a 99-yarder. So this guy's got athletic ability, as long as he keeps going forward.
It's a fourth down and an inch. I mean, literally an inch there, folks. The ball sits right at the right outside the 40-yard line. Campbell comes up over center. This could be a sneak right here. And it is. And he's going to get enough for the first down and a couple of inches more. And that's going to bring it down to 35 seconds left to go.
DC side relying on that beef up front to take their chances on a fourth down in their own territory to go for it. And it looked like a good decision there, as they were able to just get a good surge, and Campbell not much trouble with the first down.
So Nige Carmichael is one of the from Gwynn Park is here near side. Campbell about to throw, lost the handle on the ball, and it's going to be down on the ground. Looks like the Washington squad may have recovered. Wow, who came up there and smacked down Campbell?
That was a big hit there.
Yeah, it looked like it was number 56, Brandon Copeland, who made the hit. So we go to the end of the third quarter, and we head to the fourth, folks. And the Washington squad with a comfortable lead, but how comfortable can it be with this talented Baltimore squad on the other side? Well, we'll find out in just a moment. You're watching the Maryland Crab Bowl.
Remember your athletic achievements forever with the help of Incept Multimedia. Incept Multimedia specializes in all aspects of sports video. Our individual highlight videos have helped nearly 100 student athletes play sports at the college level. Remember that great season forever with our team highlight video packages. Or study the game like the pros with our professional game films. Incept Multimedia, your headquarters for video, multimedia, and graphic design. For more info, visit us at sportsmaryland.com or call 410-533-2990.
Well, back out again at Towson University's Johnny Unitas Stadium. Nate Lewis, Matt Gentlecore with you here. It's the 2008 Maryland Crab Bowl. We go to the fourth quarter, and the Washington squad with it is Tom Croninger back in at quarterback on a second down and 20. Quick flip to Caleb Porzell. Looks for room on the outside, looks to turn the corner, and gets run out of bounds, headed towards the original line of scrimmage. We'll get about maybe 8 yards on the play down the 40-yard line.
Croninger's pass.
So DC coaches obviously like to have the stability with Croninger back there as he started off the game.
Third down.
Makes a nice play there to Porzell in the flat. and picks up about 7 yards. So a nice start to this drive by the DC squad.
And it has been, at least in this second half, all representatives of the WCAC. Because the two quarterbacks that played for the championship back in November. And here's Croninger on a 3rd down and 13 now for the 40-yard line. 4 wides in the set. And he lost the handle on the ball, taken away, but Caleb Porzell is able to pick it up. Weaving his way through traffic, turns the corner, and he tiptoes towards the 1st down marker. The referee falls down, but is able to get up and call the play. So Porzell was able to take it up and get about almost 10 yards of it back.
That was a great play by Porzell after that strip, and a good pressure by the Baltimore squad on getting pressure on Croninger, knocking that ball out of his hands, and then Porzell was just a great pickup. It's not often you see a running back pick a ball up and then advance it, almost get a 1st down out of it.
Yeah, Brandon Copeland got his hands on it from Gilman. And now on the 4th down is the Washington squad going for it. Here's Croninger. Caleb Porzell sets up as a wingback, so making it 4 wide, make that 5 wides in the set. Croninger is going to run. And he's going to get stuffed. Down he goes. And there's a bunch of people who've seen the film, obviously.
Big number 77 for the Baltimore squad. Arnold Farmer was in on the tackle. And he's a big defensive tackle for the Poly Engineers, who has played 3 years so far on varsity. So he's a big guy, and his nickname is Big Baby.
No kidding.
So great job by the Baltimore team. Obviously, as you mentioned, they had seen Croninger run a few of those up the middle, so they did a great job on 4th down to force a punting situation.
And so the Baltimore squad takes over. 1st from 10, 13:25 as go in regulation. Grant Enders in at the quarterback, pumps, throws deep, has a man there, and making the catch. Is he got it in bounds? Yes, it is. Number 4, Renard Robinson. A nice play by quarterback and receiver.
Renard Robinson.
Renard Robinson did a nice job with the waiting for his quarterback for that double pump, and then ran that route after a nice double move and got out, got his feet in bounds, and made a catch downfield right outside the 20-yard line. So great job, Baltimore on the roll real early.
Well, here's the Baltimore squad trying to work their way back into this one, down 29-14. Enders, man comes in motion near side. Back to pass, steps up, now runs out of the pocket and gets hit by Jelani Jenkins, and he's able to lean forward, get a couple more yards, about 7 yards on the play in total. Making the final stops, number 40, John Darr.
And Darr making a nice tackle that time for the DC squad. He's been pretty active defensively all game long. Darr, he's got good vision, got a really knack for finding and meeting the running back in the hole. So a good job on that tackle as well, preventing even a bigger gain on 1st down.
So it's a 2nd down and 4. Give him 6 on the play. Enders back to pass again. Looks, steps up, throws, quick flip, has a man there, and down he goes. Baltimore's LaRon Edie, number 26.
Enders pass, complete to Howe.
Check that. That's Howe with the catch. And,
gain of 8 yards, 1st down.
Jelani Jenkins making the tackle. That was a touchdown-saving tackle.
It really was. Yeah, Howe that time on that quick flip out there. He's a small running back, but he's also pretty good in space. That time, Jenkins made a good saving play just outside the 5-yard line to prevent another score here. Baltimore's starting to put together a nice drive here, and they hopefully can get back in this one, being down 29-14.
So Enders comes up now. It's Baltimore on the move with 11:19 left to go in regulation. Single eye backfield, and down goes the running back, Jelani Jenkins, who's made his third tackle here on this time Tavon Austin. And that is quintessential Jelani Jenkins, man. He gets in the backfield faster than most running backs.
He sure does. He got that time. He just did a great job completely avoiding the offensive lineman in front of him and getting into disrupting that entire play. So goes from a very short 1st and goal now to second down at the 11-yard line. So that's a big play there by Jenkins.
Well, Enders now in the shotgun. Got 4 wides in the set. Straight drop back. Throws into the end zone. Man is there in the back of the end zone. Is knocked away.
Enders pass intended for Floyd, incomplete.
That was Brandon Floyd, the wide receiver out of Loyola. But more importantly, Mike Wallace was there, the cornerback out of Good Counsel.
Yeah, Wallace, good coverage and man coverage that time. Does a nice job of positioning his body so that ball wasn't able to be caught. Wallace really, has a real nose for the football. We've seen him throughout the season, a good defensive player, good special teams player as well. But again, that's just no better way to play that one, but besides getting your body in front of it. So we'll get a timeout here.
It's the first charge timeout.
By Baltimore.
Well, Baltimore calls a timeout. We have 10:26 up to go in regulation here in this Maryland Crab Bowl. Back in a moment.
Remember your athletic achievements forever with the help of Incept Multimedia. Incept Multimedia specializes in all aspects of sports video. Our individual highlight videos have helped nearly 100 student athletes play sports at the college level. Remember that great season forever with our team highlight video packages. Or study the game like the pros with our professional game films. Incept Multimedia, your headquarters for video, multimedia, and graphic design. For more info, visit us at sportsmaryland.com or call 410-533-2990.
At the 11-yard line. That means 3rd down and goal, that is. There's Enders in the shotgun. Has Austin to his left. Wide receivers either side of the field. Back to pass, Enders. Pumps. Runs out of the pocket. He's going down. Almost got cleaned up by Jelani Jenkins.
Enders sacked by Drew Cheripko.
Well, Cheripko again, who's made a couple plays here this afternoon. Made the big play there on Enders, and was a good thing he brought him down because Jelani Jenkins was doing his best impression of Ronnie Lott.
Yeah, he really was. Drew had grabbed him, and he was in the grasp, and luckily Enders, the quarterback, had just decided to get his body down quickly because Jenkins was coming through like a missile over the top. So he was almost able to really put one of those shots on him. But Enders is going to get another opportunity here with Baltimore looking like they're going for it on 4th down to get some points.
Well, 9:35 left. It's 29-14 to score. Here's Enders. Now they're stacking wide receivers to the far side. Back to pass. Throws towards the end zone, knocked up into the air, and it'll be dropped. Well, Renard Robinson was there again, and guess who was there to meet him?
Well, that was very close to being caught, but he just couldn't come up with it. We bobbled a couple times inside the 3-yard line, so it turns over on downs, but again, a really good goal line series there for the Washington squad in the red zone. They played some nice football with the safety in there, going basically four tries at getting a score and coming up short. So EC's done a good job defensively. I think some of the standouts have come from the defensive side more than the offensive side even in this one. Of course, you can't overlook Porzel, but they've got a lot of quality players on the D line.
There's Croninger as the Washington squad takes over. He's on a design run. Looks to the outside, cuts back, gets hit once, twice, taking tacklers forward, and is down after a gain of about 7. Baltimore's number 77, Arnold Farmer, The defensive tackle out of Poly, able to bring him down.
Farmer, nice job on that one.
Had a nice opportunity on Tuesday to talk with Tom Croninger, very soft-spoken gentleman. Obviously, anybody who plays with the math is going to be humbled at one point or another. But no matter how many championships you win,
humbled by the coaches mostly.
Yes. It's second down now. Croninger over center. Porzell alone back in the backfield. There'll be a handoff. Porzell comes to the outside, turns the corner, puts on the Jets, and runs out of bounds around the 38, 37-yard line. It's enough for a first down.
Just can't say enough good qualities about this Porzell guy. He's just unbelievable. If you don't wrap him up early, he just has that ability for that extra gear.
Yeah.
Particularly when he bounces out to the edge, and that's where he's so dangerous. That's what he does there. Starts off on the inside near the hash mark and then bounces to the near sideline and picks up, 15, 20 yards at a clip.
Well, the 1st and 10, Washington. 7:54 left to go in regulation. Rolling out, Croninger. Throwing over the middle, man is there. A lot of contact. There was a bunch of contact there as he was going down the field to Alex Blake.
Pass incomplete. Second down.
And Carroll Washington was there, but no call.
Yeah, a lot of contact across the middle there, Blake. Trying to find Croninger, who had done a nice job of play action and then rolling out against his body. Throws that 120 yards downfield. Blake's across the middle. A little bit high, but Blake, had an opportunity to catch it, but was definitely hand checks going on back and forth between a defensive back, so that one goes to the ground.
And that's second down and 10. Straight drop back. Croninger throwing far side and way overthrows the intended receiver. Trying to get it to Gary Fortune. That's going to bring up third down. Well, earlier today, the Maryland Crab Bowl Youth Football Classic, the White Oak Warriors of Silver Spring, Maryland, were able to defeat the Tustin Cobras out of Tustin, California, 12-8. And well, again, that's just a representation of how good is football. Of course, the White Oak Warriors are the 2-time national champions of Pop Warner football.
Right. Yeah. Apparently, it just came back from Florida after a big win. So these youth players have busier lives than both of us.
I had a chance to talk with a WCAC coach earlier today, and he was saying, "Boy, he really likes that White Oak squad. He hopes he can make one of them a player one day."
I think it might happen.
Yeah. Croninger back to pass, pumps and runs to the outside. He goes, taking on tacklers. Down he goes. Finally goes down. I think one thing a lot of folks, obviously, if you're seeing Tom Croninger for the first time here today, this young man has, even though he is a quarterback and has been made into a quarterback right here, he has the mindset really of a linebacker when he runs the ball.
Right. Tom Croninger as the quarterback, and he's played the last couple of years for DeMatha, but he started off his career as a safety coming up as a sophomore and still plays it. And he did in the WCAC championship game where he played, both sides of the football, but a very tough guy. He's not afraid to take a hit or give a hit. So showed you what he at the end of that play, he's still trying to punish somebody after the end of a run.
Wiseman at punt formation is going to be a wobbly spiral. Washington lets it drop. No, it's going to take it to the 20-yard line. Gets wrapped up down. Xavier Hughes, safety out of Seneca Valley, brings him down. So it's going to be make that Baltimore ball 1st and 10 to their own 19-yard line.
So Baltimore with about 6:42 left on the clock has got to start to move the ball quickly. They're going to get on the scoreboard here. Be interesting to see what they do at quarterback position. They've rotated a number of players that we've seen. Had success with Perry as well as Fulton.
Yeah, looks like Fulton's coming back in. So it is Fulton in the shotgun. As a man coming in motion, near side. Stepping up, throwing a quick flip, back the other way, boom. And down goes Davon Muse.
Fulton's pass complete to Muse. Gibbons on the stop.
Yeah, Gerald Gibbons, the cornerback there, coming up to make the stop on that flip in the flat. ESPN ranks him as the #3 cornerback overall, so very good talent. He's a big player, good instincts, and good change of direction when he plays football. Obviously, making an open field tackle like that, it's a pretty good stop there for the cornerback.
Well, the result is no gain on the play for the Baltimore squad. Fulton once again in a shotgun. We'll have Muse to his left, and again 4 wides. Austin in motion, double reverse, flea flicker. Throwing back, Austin's there with the catch. Down the sideline. Puts a move on. Another move. To the corner. See you later.
How about that?
Wow.
That's one for the highlight reel.
Well, that play goes 81 yards, and Tavon Austin has electrified the crowd here at Johnny Unitas Stadium.
Well, just a pretty well-designed flea flicker play that time, but it was almost disrupted by the defense, who had gotten pressure in the backfield. But the play was still, the throw was able to be made, and then Austin caught that ball inside, probably about the 35-yard line, and then with his speed down the sideline was able to outrun the defense and then cut across field.
Peary with the kick, and is good, and now it's an 8-point lead for the Washington squad. 29-21 to score. 5:27 left.
Baltimore 21.
Well, like we said, it started this second half, folks. Now it's a football game, and these guys, you don't even bother putting the pads on if you're not thinking about winning the game.
No, you got to go for it. I think both coaching staffs have gone into it with, we're not just going to just play guys to play them. We're going to try to win this game. So that's what we've seen, particularly with some of the players that have played a lot of minutes. It's with guys like Austin Porzell. They've been in action throughout most of this game. So we're seeing some of the horses really being worked.
As we talked about Austin.
Well, Austin's just tremendous, as far as what he's done. So far this season, we've talked about touchdowns, total offensive yards, almost 10,000 rushing yards, 8,000 over his career. So he's just done a great job. Helped Dunbar to 3 consecutive Class 1A state championships, including this past season where he ran for almost 2,300 yards, 34 touchdowns, folks. That's, in about 12 games, so almost 3 per game.
As Peary approaches, Devin Smith is going to take it at the 15-yard line. Looks right up the middle, still on his feet, and down he goes to the 40. Well, the Washington squad leads this one by 8. 29-21's our score.
First down, Washington at the 39-yard line.
Obviously, this is a crucial series here for the DC squad to run some clock and try to get some first downs here, because Baltimore shown ability for that big play with a guy like Austin back there. He's gonna be a threat.
So here's Campbell. He's back in at the quarterback for the Washington squad. 4 wides in the set. Gets a snap. Quick flip, goes to the outside. And it's going to be down on one knee, Justin Ford.
Campbell pass, complete to Ford. A gain of 6, second down.
Well, you've heard, obviously, the experts who have come in and visited us here that talk about, really it's not so much particular players. They play positions, but really it's the plethora of athletes in the state of Maryland that really, makes it a hotbed of recruiting.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen some of the showcase for a lot of these guys that we talked about. You know, the guys that are multidimensional, that could play, you know, defensively, offense, special teams on the next level. And that's probably where a lot of these smaller players will probably be special teamers or probably move to defensive backs as they progress for their collegiate careers.
Tyler Campbell throwing a bubble screen to Emmanuel McPherson. That goes for a loss. And so now we're looking at a 3rd down and 5 for the Washington squad. Again, Campbell in the shotgun. Gets the snap. Steps up. Throws. Forward. And he bobbles it. Does he make the catch? No, he dropped it. He bobbled it. It came out, and as he was going down, Carroll Washington lowered the boom.
That was a huge play there on the drop. By them not being able, the DC squad not being able to convert that. They're going to kick the ball away here. 3:50 left in the game. Baltimore has another prime opportunity to tie this one up.
So it's Anthony Wiseman. So we're going to have a little drama here as we go down the stretch. He's in punt formation. Austin and Washington. Washington's going to look at it, take it at the 30-yard line, run around and get knocked down again. That's the second tackle on special teams by number 29, Xavier Hughes.
-5 yards on the return. 1st down, Baltimore.
So now Baltimore takes over. 3:40 left.
Yeah, Hughes did a great job of special teams play that time. Athletic safety who plays special teams as well. Really flies around and attacks the run as well when he's on the defensive side of the ball.
So it's going to be Evan Harris. I'll check that. It's going to be number 17, Kevin Fulton, in his shotgun. Austin to his right. Gets a snap. Quick flip. Austin to the outside. Turns a corner and gets close to the 1st down. Knocked out of bounds.
Fulton's pass complete to Austin.
Fulton does a nice job that time of getting rid of that ball quickly. And at this point, you're going to look to Austin, your best playmaker, to get this ball in his hands. He does a nice job after on the screenplay. Gets about 8 yards. So they got to watch the clock here, but still a good opportunity to tie this one up.
So now 4 wide receivers in the set. It'll be Kevin Fulton in the shotgun. Straight drop back. And the pass knocked up in the air is going to be picked off. Taken by the Washington squad. Still on the feet. Down he goes to the 15-yard line. It's number 77, Terrence Stevens.
Stevens, the big defensive tackle that time, tips that one up from the quarterback's pass and catches it. A great job to make a read on that play. Rated by Rivals as a number 33 defensive tackle. Very productive player. Going to be good on the next level. And shows you what he did on that play. Just a great job. And makes a huge play to probably seal this one off and preserve the win for the DC squad who were being threatened by Baltimore.
Looked like it was number 58, Drew Chirico, that tipped that ball up in the air. He wasn't able to get to the quarterback in Fulton, but just like any well-coached defensive lineman, said, get your hands up when that ball goes up in the air. That's exactly what happened there. Now the Washington squad takes over. Lurch gives it to Caleb Porzell, and he slips down on the turf here at Johnny United Stadium. And will be
a gain of 3, 2nd down.
And give him a gain of about 3, so it'll be 2nd down 7.
He does gain a couple on that one, and most importantly, it keeps the clock moving. And then we get it. I think we're going to get a late timeout here. Nope.
And so it's Lurch in the shot over center, going to a 2 tight end set of the Washington squad. Whistle blows, flag goes down. It's going to be delay a game against Washington. They were right. They should have called a timeout.
Yep. 5-yard penalty.
They weren't ready.
Yep.
So an opportunity here for Baltimore to either try to get a turnover or prevent them getting on the scoreboard again.
Lurch, Porzell again, cuts to the outside and gets wrapped up and dropped. It's going to be third down now with 1:58 left. Both teams have 2 timeouts. 29-21's the score. And so Baltimore's going to call one of their 2 timeouts. And so we'll take one as well with 1:57 left to go in regulation, and the Washington squad leads. You're watching the 2008 Maryland Crab Bowl.
Remember your athletic achievements forever with the help of Incept Multimedia. Incept Multimedia specializes in all aspects of sports video. Our individual highlight videos have helped nearly 100 student athletes play sports at the college level. Remember that great season forever with our team highlight video packages. Or study the game like the pros with our professional game films. Incept Multimedia, your headquarters for video, multimedia, and graphic design. For more info, visit us at sportsmaryland.com or call 410-533-2990.
Well, obviously, the coaching staff of Washington consulted with Matt and decided that they were going to kick the ball after all to try to put this one out of reach. It is Mark Magus. Snap is down, and the kick is away. End over end kick, hooking to the left. It splits the uprights and is good. So Mark Magus with the 26-yard field goal makes it 32-21 to score. Now, granted, the defense of the Baltimore squad, all they could do is sit there and just wave their arms.
Yeah, that's one key point that you should point out, Dave, is that there's no pass rush on the kicks. So it makes it that much easier to decide to kick the ball versus, go for it, because you're really not threatened. As long as your kick is pretty solid and it's not too long of a distance, it's a pretty good shot. So they played off on the probabilities there, and then DC now has a somewhat comfortable lead with a minute left.
Well, in this historic event, the Maryland Crab Bowl, the Washington squad looks like they're in control of this one with 1:03 left to go. And this is one of those where every single one of these players can say, "Well, we not only played in the first one, we won it."
Yeah, and it was a well-run event and a great showcase, and the game turned out to be pretty good too. So that's just a really good icing on the cake for this event.
That's always important. So now running the ball around. Now here comes the Baltimore squad thinking about flipping it back, and it's going to go right to the hands of one of the Washington players. Oh my goodness! Still on his feet and going down to Dwayne Price. Is going to be down at the 11-yard line. Carroll, Washington, no, check that, number 24. Carl Fleming had the ball, took it on the bounce, and decided to flip it back to where he thought to be one of his players. But Dwayne Price just picked it up out of the air, and it's down the 11-yard line, and that might be your ball game.
Yeah, Dwayne Price that time, just a great intercept on the heave backwards. And he was hard to bring down. He almost got into the end zone, but he was finally tackled inside the 20-yard line at the 19. So,
yeah, that's it.
That's a tough one.
Alert, so he'll be kneeling down. Let's take some time out here to thank the board of directors of the Crab Bowl. That's Chris Barsha, the assistant coach at DeMatha, Timothy P. Burke, Andrew DePola Sr., Doug Duvall, Charles Chuck Harmon, Patrick Holt, Lauren Lawn, Mike Loveday, Bob Malloy, Michael O'Connor, meaning Sean O'Connor, Sheldon Sheeler, for all the fine work they put into last year, putting this great high school all-star event together, and we look forward to many more.
No question about it. Just a great event, and this first one went off without a hitch and was an excellent game. And I thought it lived up to the hype that it initially had been billed as.
Now kneeling down a second time. That should do it right there with 14 seconds left. The Washington squad has won the 2008 Maryland Crab Bowl 32-21. And it was a great contest, and well, just as anyone who wants to put on a all-star game, the Stars certainly came out here and shined here on the field at Johnny Unitas Stadium this afternoon.
Yeah, they really did, and of course, it was all about showcasing some of the best players in Maryland and finally giving them an opportunity. And I thought part of the philosophy of this game was to, obviously showcase the guys that had received scholarships, but also give these probably 30 players or so who may be on the fence of some schools and have some other opportunities down their way in the second semester to finally maybe solidify those. So this is a really good opportunity if the tournament can produce 5 or 6 or 7 new scholarships out of this event. I think they've done their job, and I know that's what Chuck and Sean really wanted, is give these athletes a chance to really get those scholarships and go on to the next level as far as scholar athletes.
Well, Washington D.C. wins the first Crab Bowl 32-21 over the Baltimore area players, and with 2 players both from good counsel, we have Jelani Jenkins and Caleb Porzale. Caleb, the MVP from the D.C. team. What was the key today, guys?
Well, we wanted to use our talent pretty much, and everywhere we had talent, and we wanted to get the ball around. We had all three quarterbacks that could do well and play well, and we had a defense that flies around. So we just wanted to use everybody's talent to our advantage.
And Caleb, you were on the offense. You found the end zone 3 times. What made you guys so successful today?
Basically our blocking, I say. We had great blockers, and I would give this trophy to them because they deserve it, and they made me get the touchdown. So.
And, players on your team from all over the D.C. area, especially DeMatha, guys like Emmanuel McPherson and Tom Croniger. What was it like being teammates with guys like that?
It was surprisingly good. When we first saw each other first practice and all that, we were already bonding. Like they've been on our team for the last 4 years. So, that helped us out, and we were able to play together as a team, in the game, and, it showed. So, it was cool.
Pretty much what he said.
And, Caleb, we'll be seeing you next at Maryland. When do you head to Maryland, and what are you looking forward to with that?
I head to Maryland, I think in June, I want to say. And I'm excited for it. I think I'm going to redshirt, but if not, I'm hoping to get on the field as soon as possible and do my thing.
We all look forward to seeing you in College Park. And Jelani, you still have 1 game left. You're playing in the Under Armour All-America game down in Florida, and you're yet to decide on a college. So just tell us about playing in that game and when we might expect a decision.
Well, it's just another chance to play against a lot of competition from around the world. So I'm excited, and that's my class, like I said, and that's what I'm going to be playing with for the next 4 years. So that's exciting. And then in terms of choosing my college, I'm probably not going to be ready by then because I still have to take some more officials. But I guess later on, if I'm ready before the signing day, then I will. But chances are I'm probably going to wait till signing day.
Well, guys, congratulations, and stay warm, and we look forward to seeing you both on Saturdays.
Thank you.
Well, there it is, the Maryland Crab Bowl, the first one in the books, but certainly it's been a good one here as well, Matt, and I hope that we're invited here to be able to do a few more of these.
Yeah, I think I think we did a good enough job to make it back.
I think so as well. All right. Well, let's thank Sean O'Connor and our All-In Broadcasting crew as well, and certainly had a great time here at Johnny Unitas Stadium. Once again, 32-21 is our final score. The Washington squad wins this inaugural Maryland Crab Bowl. We will see you next year, maybe here or maybe somewhere down towards Washington. Doesn't matter. As long as football is being played, we hope we'll have it for you and have all the action for you here as well. Thank you once again. 32-21 is our score. From Matt Gentlecore, I'm Nate Lewis. Good day, everybody. This has been the Maryland Crab Bowl 2008.